under Landon Maddox.
Okay. Right. So ultimately, Mr. Green's case is going to be transferred to the south end. I'll file a recusal on that. But we're going to put it on May 5th at 9 o'clock. Malik Green on the PD docket for this afternoon. We'll put that up for Monday the 5th at 9 just for status until another date gets assigned in the south end.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
All right, yes, thank you. All right, Mr. Gilbert.
Morning, Your Honor. First case, Donald Robinson in 24 CF 2138. We have a waiver on file. We have depots set, requested continuance.
Looks like they're set for May 6th.
That'll be the last round.
Okay, last round of depots.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, it looks like you guys did them back in February as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and any objection from the
No,
state?
Your Honor, no objection.
It's a relatively new case, and depots are still ongoing. So that's going to be 6/23 at 9 o'clock.
Your Honor. Next case, Kayla Salisbury in 24 CF 2925. We have a waiver on file. We received a new offer. We'd like to leave set with no subs for a plea on the 5th.
All right, May 5th at 9 o'clock for purposes of a possible plea.
And last case, Shannon Smith in 24 CF 2896, waiver on file. And same thing, we'd like to leave set for PTI plea, no subs for May 5th.
May 5th. Any objections from the state?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right. For a PTI. All right, we'll see you back on Monday the 5th, Mr. Gilbert.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Flowers.
Judge, good morning. Zanaya Brown. What we would like to do with the court's permission is to leave it set without subs, so the state and I can finalize what I think is a reasonable agreement.
Okay, and who's on?
They
the
haven't
subs?
come around. They haven't come around to my way of thinking just yet, Judge, but
Whose is this?
It's my case, Your Honor.
Okay.
yeah, and candidly, we haven't had an opportunity to talk about it a lot.
Well, it's getting on the older side, so I'm glad
It-
that we're
it is.
looking at a resolution.
Judge, if you could leave it set with no subs, we've been pretty successful lately.
All right, May 5th at 9 o'clock, no subpoenas for a possible resolution.
Thank you, Judge. The next matter is Seth Chansey. And if we could do the same thing, we have an agreement. It's been sent to me, I think, Friday afternoon. And it's PTI, and Judge, we'll have it executed and filed prior to that.
Okay.
But from a controlled date, I don't think we need to go past May 5th.
All right. May 5th for PTI.
Yes, sir.
Is that a plea to PTI?
No, sir.
Oh, it's just straight PTI?
It is.
Okay. So he won't need to be here?
No.
He just needs to
Is
sign
it-
the PTI agreement.
Is he still local?
He is.
And this would be with DOC, right? So he'd have to report to them. I just wanted to make sure that he's reporting to them on the same day.
Well, he'll be doing the right things,
As far
including
as him-
reporting to them when he's supposed to.
Okay, well, then if he's here, he can just report here.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
I kind of feel like I might have excused his presence by what I said earlier, so I just want to make sure it was.
Okay. Next matter, Judge, is, and there are co-defendants. Stephen Webster represents Evan Reynolds. Our office represents William Johns. They are
Going to be under Mr. Shaw then?
It is under.
Okay, I just didn't see it.
It might be. We're asking for a continuance. The state does not object.
That's correct, Your Honor. I'm covering for Ms. Sandler. We did speak this morning, and she does say that this will be the last continuance.
Looks like y'all did a bunch of
There's one more,
depositions
we've
in
done a
April.
lot of depositions, Your Honor, most recently in the state of Utah, of all places.
Y'all had to go to Utah?
Mr. Webster did.
Okay.
I attended by Zoom. However, there have been a lot of them. The state and we have cooperated fully, and we contemplated this being the last before a motion will be filed that'll be granted and eliminate the need for a trial.
I'm not sure Ms. Sandler would agree with the last part, Your Honor, but definitely this will be the last continuance.
Yes.
Add some last minute, last
And
Judge-
what are the other names that are the co-defendants?
Evan Reynolds is the only one that I'm covering today, and the other name escapes me as we.
Brandon Hardaway.
My apologies, Brandon Hardaway. And I spoke with Stephen Webster an hour ago.
And he's handling Reynolds?
He is.
Okay. Just so I can,
He's in Tallahassee, and
I'm aware.
yes, sir.
All right, so June 23rd at 9 o'clock on this last continuance, because you think it'll be a resolve.
We do believe that.
All right, and that's under, is that under Mr. Webster?
I believe that it is under Mr. Webster, Your Honor.
Just so I can mark it down on that one as well.
Yes, sir. Judge, if you're ready to move forward,
Go ahead.
Kyle Frazier. And I'll confess, I don't know if that appears under my name or Mr. Shaw's.
It's under yours.
All right. Asking for a continuance in that matter. It is not an old case. However, we are obtaining some expert testimony to deal with the key issue in the case. I haven't asked the state if they object or not to that, frankly.
No objection, Your Honor.
An old case, 623 at 9.
Next matter is Roller, Jonathan Roller, and I know that's under Mr. Shaw's name. Your Honor, I might suggest we leave it on for May 5th. Plea or continue.
Just find it here. I think last time they all had announced it would be ready to be resolved this time, so May 5th.
Well,
Is that with or without subpoenas?
without.
All right, it's May 5th at 5, or I'm sorry, at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. The next matter is Kelvin Wise, and we attempted depositions recently and coordinated with the state. There was a problem with service of process, if I'm not mistaken. And one, we reflected service, but the witness didn't come. And so I think out of necessity, we need to move this. I think the state would agree with that.
Yes, Your Honor. We were supposed to effectuate service on the victim because of the confidential address. However, we weren't able to on time by the time the deposition was set. So, yeah, I agree to reschedule it.
Y'all have a new scheduling date for the deposition?
We don't have it yet.
All right, June 23rd at 9 o'clock for Mr. Wise. This case will be over a year old at that point, so
Yeah, Judge.
not giving you
Frank-
grief based on what you told me. I'm
No,
just making sure everyone knows that.
None taken, Your Honor. Final matter, and he is here. He doesn't need to approach, I don't think, but he's present, is Mr. Aircard, we had communicated with the state a year and a half ago about, when this case arose, the alleged victim's deposition was taken. We've discovered a lot of information that we sure would like to ask her about and ask the state, but her deposition was taken once. We're asking that it be continued and you give us permission to take that deposition, which we believe will shed a great deal of light on the case. That's where we are, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I object to agree to a deposition in this way. If he has questions that were not asked before, we have the transcripts of the original deposition. I may be agreeable, but just to redepose the victim, I can't. You would have to, I guess, file a motion.
And
Who did the
I
original
respect that.
deposition, Mr. Flowers?
It's based on some new information we
Who
had.
did the original one? Was it?
Prior counsel, it
Prior
wasn't us. There was information that wasn't inquired about because they couldn't possibly have known, and this was a good lawyer, could not possibly have known to ask these questions. But through some research that we've been able to uncover, we believe by asking the questions, the state might learn some things they don't know yet either.
Well, Your Honor, I would ask that he tells me precisely what the issue is and that he writes those questions, because just simply making a statement that he has new information, I don't even know what he's referring to.
There's a lot of things
We
in
can
my
object to
file
it.
that she doesn't know about, and I bet there's things in hers that I don't know about.
Well, that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
I don't mind continuing the case for this reason. However, if y'all don't agree to this, I'm gonna need more information as
Judge,
to
I'll file a
what's needed.
motion, and that will help the state, and I think
I'm sure
she's
we can
right.
get something done quickly to figure it out so you can have a
Well,
deposition done by then, but maybe
Judge-
go ahead and get a tentative date.
Yeah, with your permission, I'll file that motion. Ms. Leon is right, I agree with her assessment. If I give her that information, it might be helpful. I
Yes.
think she's right.
So we'll put it on June 23rd at 9 o'clock, but I'd like for this issue to be resolved by
I
that
agree, Your
point.
Honor.
So
Judge-
we can get you a quick motion hearing as far as getting into, to discuss that if y'all don't come to some sort of agreement.
I'll do that, and I'll file that.
Maybe a limited deposition for purposes of whatever he asks about. But
And that makes, Judge, we agree with that assessment.
otherwise, I think I have to assess it by reading the transcript and
I
go,
know.
what else is needed, because I don't want to be in the position of making precedent that I'm always giving people second depositions.
understand.
Unless
You're-
it's completely warranted, but.
And I think Ms. Leon is right, I appreciate that. Judge, that's all I have, thank you, sir.
6:23. We did resolve the issue of what he's actually charged with. I saw the new information was filed.
Yes, Your Honor, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that was clear. All right, 6:23 at 9 o'clock. Mr. Stewart.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
May it please the court, Your Honor, Brad Stewart on behalf of Joanne Carnes. Judge, this is 24 CF 2775. Your Honor, if we can leave this set for the 5th, anticipate resolution on or before.
Looks like you just got on the case, right?
I did, Your Honor.
All right, May 5th, 9 o'clock, for possible resolution. No subpoenas.
Correct.
What else do you have?
Your Honor, that's all I have on this docket. I've resolved everything else. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Dudley? I didn't know. Good morning.
First one I have is Charles Blanchard in 25 CF 214. I am still waiting for discovery on that one, so I ask for continuance to the next trial.
No, Judge.
6:23 at 9 o'clock, looks like a brand-new case.
Your Honor, next I have is Latavius Brown. This is the one where I mentioned I need to look at the evidence. I have left voicemails. It's sometimes easier for the state to schedule than for me to try to schedule to meet. If we can get just one more continuance, so I need to see it based on the deposition. I believe there's a motion I need to file, but I need to see the evidence.
Do we need to discuss this further? I mean, we talked about this last time, and I
So
know
I-
that's not always easy to get everyone coordinated, but. I
They're
think
on limited, like, when you call them, their staff is limited at evidence, but if we can just get one more continuance, where we can get in there and get it done.
This case is over a year old as
Yes, sir.
well. Call it last continuance. Now, obviously, if something comes up that you're not expecting,
Yes, sir.
I'll consider it, but.
Understood.
6:23, 9 o'clock.
Next one I have is Donald Couch in 25 CF 389. I am waiting on discovery on that one as well. Yes, sir.
6:23, 9 o'clock.
Next, I have the Jeff Ledoux in 24 CF 1018 and 24 CF 2012. I'm waiting on discovery on that one. I'm not sure which prosecutor's handling it. One case has each different prosecutors on it.
No, it's all,
From
I
you?
have all the co-defendants.
Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So I just need, if we can get a continuance, so I can get discovery, Your Honor.
You new to the case?
Yes, I am. This is my first pretrial, I believe.
Objections?
No objection.
Okay. Yeah, this one's got to get moving. It's
Yes, sir.
over a year old as well. At least the first one is.
Yes, sir.
6:23, 9 o'clock.
Your Honor, the next one I have is Charles Ransom in 25 CF 32. I'm still reviewing discovery. I would ask for continuance to the next pretrial.
This is the first pretrial.
Yes, sir.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
6:23 at 9 o'clock.
You know, I have one that's still left on the afternoon docket.
Yes, I saw
Zakari
that.
Lee
Zakari Lee.
in
That's
24 CF
number one
21.
on the afternoon docket.
Yes, sir. 2178. That's new. This is the first pretrial I've had. I would ask for a continuance so I can get everything on that case.
No objection.
Do you have discovery?
Not yet, Your Honor.
How are y'all doing that? Are you making them get it from the previous counsel, or are you sending it directly to them?
Send it again.
Okay. I mean, now that everything's pretty much electronic, it's probably easier that way.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I believe that is all I have this morning.
All right, so that's 6:23 at 9 o'clock for Lee.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Cousins.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Merrifield?
Case for Chris Garrett, if I could take that.
Go ahead.
All right. Brainy Merrifield covering for Chris Garrett on Helen Sexton. It's 24 CF 1835. There is a waiver on file. Mr. Garrett conducted depositions. I believe it was on March the 31st. There was an offer pending based on the results of that depo. I believe that ASA Chic sent over terms maybe this morning, or they've discussed it. So we are asking for a continuance. The client does live out of state, Judge, and Mr. Garrett would bring it on for an early resolution if they can get the terms hammered out.
Mr. Sheik, is that consistent?
Yeah,
with what you've
the
talked to Mr.
specifics
Garrett
of the
about?
resolution hasn't, but it's gonna be a PTI, Your Honor, so.
Is that a plea to PTI potentially, or?
What's that again?
Is it a plea to PTI, or are you working? on
I think the specifics of that, we have to check out, but
All right, so we'll
I-
put it on the June
that's-
23rd date, but this case is getting a little bit older. If you can get it in earlier, I'd appreciate that.
He assured me he would do that as soon as he gets the terms. Thank you, Judge.
sorry, Your Honor, what date?
6:23.
Okay, thank you.
And Judge, I have cases under both Flaherty and Merrifield. I'll handle the Flaherty cases first.
Okay.
Brainy Merrifield on behalf of Wesley Bertrand, 23 CF 2071, 25 CF 473. As the court is well aware, we were working on an agreement for Mr. Bertrand. There is a waiver on file. His mom is in the ICU. He has sent me proof. We'd like to leave this set for docket day. As of this morning, we have finalized almost all of our terms dealing with probation and the logistics of that. So I think we'll be able to wrap this one up on the 5th, Judge.
And if we don't?
If we don't, it's my understanding that the court has wanted to move 23 CF 2071 to trial.
Yes.
We will certainly evaluate that.
Just 'cause I know you're new to this case, but it was set for trial with previous counsel last time.
Yes, sir.
And frankly, I think the only reason we didn't try is because the new warrant came out. So the new warrant on things that were a year old.
Yes, sir.
All right, so plea trial.
The next case is Austin Chastain, 24 CF 2668. There's a waiver on file for Mr. Chastain. He has been evaluated for vet court and determined to be a good candidate for vet court. However, there may be some information from the listed victim that may resolve the case sooner. ASA Leone and I have discussed this. We're not in a position to make any decisions right now, and if I don't get the resolution that we're anticipating, I am going to need to take deposition. So I would ask for a continuance to the 623 pretrial.
No objection.
Okay, and the case isn't very old. June 23rd at 9 o'clock. Obviously, if it's going to be a vet court, you can probably get it done sooner than that.
Yes, sir. Then I have Joyrab Fernandez in 24 CF 2667. I'd like to continue this one to the 6/23 docket. It is the second time up. There's a waiver on file. We have the workings of an agreement, just finalizing a few of the terms. Mr. Fernandez does live out of state, so he would need to travel to Florida. If we can get this resolved and bring it in for an earlier landing, we'll certainly do so.
Okay. 6:23 at 9 o'clock.
Then I have Matthew Packard, 24 CF 1455, 24 CF 1456. In a similar position that we do have kind of the inner workings of an agreement and believe that we can get this resolved at docket day, so I'd like to leave it set for docket day.
You saved yourself with the second part, because I think last time we talked about.
We did.
That you thought you might have a resolution, trying to find a facility that might work for you.
Yes, sir. So it will resolve this cycle. It's been extremely difficult to locate a facility based on his status. But I think through some creativity, we have located a suitable place.
All right, we'll see you back on Monday the 5th, 9 o'clock.
Then I have Mary Lee Pear, 24 CF 2190. There's a waiver on file for Ms. Pear. We've realized that there are quite a few, this is a financial case, Judge, so quite a bit of discovery. There are several exhibits that were not provided to the state. ASA Chic is working on getting those to me so that we can schedule depositions and start moving this case.
You didn't provide them.
It was from the financial department in Tallahassee. So the state did not have that as of, I believe, Thursday or Friday when I reached out.
Sounds like the state attorney didn't have them.
Not the state attorney, no, the
state
financial
has them,
department.
which means they should get them to you faster.
Yes. So we are requesting the 6/23 pretrial so that I can schedule depositions if necessary.
Let's try to push a little bit on that one, because
Yes, sir.
it's from September. 6/23 at 9 o'clock. Obviously, if there's any need for a motion to compel or anything else like that, that sometimes hurries those agencies along.
Absolutely.
I'll certainly consider that more quickly if needed.
Then I have Ronald Pruitt, 25 CF 178. There's a waiver on file for Mr. Pruitt. It is the first time up. I'm asking to continue this to 6/23. I have some reciprocal discovery that I've discussed with ASA Chic. We also have kind of the foundation of an agreement. So if we can get this done sooner, obviously we will bring it back up on the docket and resolve it.
Mr. Sheik?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, June 23rd, 9 o'clock.
Then I have Christopher Vogel, 25 CF 364 and 25 CF 372. There is not a waiver on file. This is the first time up for this case. Mr. Vogel's incarcerated. Uncertain why he was put on the Monday list as opposed to the Wednesday list.
All right, so I guess we'll deal with him on.
I would be moving to continue, Judge. There is, I have received a majority of the evidence. I did speak with ASA Bossow. I need to go to the Sheriff's Department to review a few things. The anticipation would be is that we would continue this cycle, let me review the remainder of that evidence, and be prepared to resolve the case next cycle.
All right, you've discussed this with Mr. Vogel as far as continuing today?
I did not discuss with him as the continuance for today because I anticipated that he would be on the Wednesday list, and to my shock on Friday, I saw he was on for Monday.
You can always tell us when that's the case. so
I
we
can,
do
Judge.
it. Well, we can bring him back Wednesday if you.
Okay, let's do that.
Just bring him back Wednesday. Are you going to be here for other cases?
I will, Judge.
That way we can just put him on there. That way if he has any concerns about it, you can talk to him about it then.
In the
It's
meantime,
first
if
time
I,
up, it's a very serious case, but,
in the meantime, if I can get up there to speak with him, would the court accept a written motion even though it would be outside the 5 days?
yes, as long as you've talked to him and he says he's okay and he's waiving his right to a speedy trial, I'm fine with that.
Absolutely.
They would have no objection, Your Honor, if the court would grant that. We did discuss it. We do understand Ms. Merrifield does need to go view the evidence at the sheriff's office.
All right. Yeah, if you file the motion today or tomorrow, just make sure you get it directly to my assistant so
Yes,
that I can see it, because as you know, I'll probably be here all day.
Absolutely, Judge. So that should be it under that list. Under my name, Judge, I have Eileen Smith in 24 CF 2848. So we conducted a round of depositions in Ms. Smith, and during those depositions, both the state and I learned of some additional evidence that the state did not have access to, some 2.5 hours or so of body cam footage that would be important. We did anticipate 2 different rounds of deposition, just considering the number of witnesses. So I am requesting to continue it to 6/23. I've already reached out to ASA Leone's office, and we are coordinating the next round of depositions, and hopefully we can get that discovery in time.
Yes, Your Honor, no objection.
It was my favorite part of doing depositions, is finding out there's reports and body cam that no one's ever seen before.
Yes, sir. And I do believe that is all I
June
have.
23rd, 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Harsher.
Covering two cases for Attorney Tony Henderson this morning, Your Honor. First case is Kevin
Those are under
Josie.
Henderson.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Kevin Josie, 22 CF 1289. Your Honor, we received a competency evaluation report back from Dr. Zeman's office last week where,
My first question.
yes, sir, yes, Your Honor, where our client was found not competent to proceed. So I'd be asking to set this for a competency hearing. Judge, I'm unaware of, and I haven't spoken with the state as to whether they are going to be seeking a second evaluation.
I'd like a copy of that eval if you would.
Yes,
I
sir.
haven't seen it in the court file.
I believe it just came back at the end of last week, Judge.
Okay.
So I've not actually been able to review the report myself
Why
before
don't
filing.
we do this? Let's just keep it for Monday, make sure, so they can look at the report, see if they want to do anything, and then we'll set the competency hearing on that date.
That's fine with me, Judge.
And I think you travel from out of county, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you need to do that by Zoom, especially if it's an agreed upon thing, we can certainly do that. Save you the trip if that's all you've got.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm just going to put on May 5th for kind of status on competency. And if you could get me a copy of that report as well. So I
Yes,
can
Your
see
Honor.
it. All right, next case.
And that's May 5th at 9 o'clock, Your
Yes,
Honor.
sir.
Thank you, Judge. And the next case is Tommy Kelly, the third, 23 CF 2143. Your Honor, there's been a fairly generous offer extended by the state that I believe it's a lesser included offense misdemeanor that we're going to be advising Mr. Kelly to accept. So I'd be asking to set this for a plea with no subpoenas.
So May 5th, so it sounds like you're going to be here anyway.
Probably,
May 5th
Judge.
for a plea at 9 o'clock.
And I believe that's all I have before the court.
I'll put it on the record. If it's not resolved on Monday, it's going to be on the trial docket.
Yes, Your
This
Honor.
case is from September of '23.
Yes, Judge. I believe that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Durrell.
Your Honor. May it please the court, Dustin Durrell. Your Honor, my first case today is Mr. James Kaufman, requesting a continuance of Mr. Kaufman.
There's no objection from the state.
All right, it looks like this is just maybe the second time up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything that you'll particularly need to get done?
We'll be setting depositions. There was some issue with the discovery at first. I did receive a second CD from the state that had the missing discovery on it. I'm still reviewing that, and then we'll be scheduling depositions, Your Honor.
Okay. 6:23 at 9 o'clock.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Matthew McLean. He is present and approaching, Your Honor. Your Honor, I've been in discussions with the state on this. I believe we're very close to resolution, so close, in fact. I was wondering if the court would take a verbal DPA. Can we read that into the record? Is that something the court
Not
would?
sure, verbal DPA, what is it?
This was a novel solution to me as well, so I wanted to ask if that
Oral
was something the court
contract,
could do.
deferred prosecution agreement?
Basically,
Are we going to get into
it is
parole
for agreement
evidence?
with the
Sounds like something on my civil docket.
basically, Your Honor, Mr. Durrell has a check for restitution to the victim, is the total restitution. And I just said, once the victim receives the funds, then I will dismiss the case.
Okay.
So I guess we could just continue it to next pretrial because I understand that it's the defendant's intent to pay that right away.
So let me make sure I understand. So the DPA would just be for him to turn in the check,
Yes, Your Honor.
Which I have.
which you already have.
Yes, sure, just running it through my trust account. As soon as I get the payment information from the state, I'll cut that check and give it to the victim.
quickly can that be done?
I can
Are
run
we
it
waiting
through.
for well, if it's going through your trust account, I'm guessing you don't have to wait for the check to clear.
Exactly.
It's already in his trust account. I mean, can we set up for next week? Is that too fast? I mean, we talked about last continuance last time, and this case is from August. It's not the oldest case by far, but
If I may, because I could advise maybe the victim to come to your Crestview office and pick up a cashier check, whatever it is that you'll have ready for him.
Okay.
I could tell him to come before this coming Monday, so by then I can dismiss it.
I'll have it ready for him.
okay. All right, so let's put on 5-5 for status of a potential null pros as part of the restitution.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. All good. Yes, sir. Thank you, Matthew. Your Honor, next I have Mr. Isaiah Sapp requesting continuance of Mr. Sapp as well. There were some issues with body cam. Last time, I did get a updated link from the state on that one. I was having issues with my internet at that time, though. Everything has finally been resolved. I've downloaded about 10 gig worth of body cam, so I'm still going through a lot of that.
Okay, and this is a relatively new case. Any objection to a continuance?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, 6:23, 9 o'clock.
And our next is Mr. Dion Green. Recently had depositions of Mr. Green's case. One of the witnesses did not show up, and there was a, I guess, miscommunication about the date. They got a call from, the witness that did show up said they got a call from some investigator that said it was the 23rd. My subpoena said the 21st. So one of them showed up and the other one didn't.
Okay.
So I just need to get that rescheduled, Your Honor.
All right, let's get that rescheduled quickly. I know that just happened last week,
Yes, Your Honor.
but let's get it rescheduled quickly. I'll put you on for 6:23 at 9 o'clock. This one's getting on the older side.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Michael White. Mr. White? And we do have a written plea agreement in this matter, if I may approach, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Was it a deer or a turkey? It's listed as,
It was a deer, Your Honor.
all right, Mr. White, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay. This is a possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, correct? All right.
Correct.
I'm assuming it's constructive. That was my question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this state agreeing that this is constructive possession?
Yes, Your Honor, they said that.
All right, Mr. White, you're here in 24 CF 2557. You're currently charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, which is a second-degree felony punished by up to 15 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. And count 2 is killing a deer out of season, which is a misdemeanor punished by up to 1 year in county jail. Do you understand that? All right, I've been handed a plea and sentencing agreement that calls for you to, on count 1, get 2 years of probation, adjudicate you guilty, $615 court costs, which includes the cost of prosecution, and forfeit any possessory interest to the firearms confiscated by Fish and Wildlife with regards to this matter. Is that your understanding? Are there any other terms of probation? Just want to make sure. All right. And then count 2 would be time served. Is that what you want to do today?
Yeah, Your Honor, count 2, I believe, is going to be a withhold. The state has agreed to
It is a withhold on
2.
count 2.
And adjudicate on count 1.
Okay. All right, so Mr. White, did you go over this plea and sentencing agreement with Mr. Durrell?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you understand it? Did you sign it? Okay, and are you satisfied with Mr. Durrell's representation in this case? Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances? Are you currently suffering from any mental health issues? Has anyone forced, pressured, or threatened you in any way to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything in return for your plea? Do you understand by entering a plea there won't be a trial of any kind? And you'll be giving up your trial rights, which are listed on page 1 of the document that you've signed. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this would lead to your deportation? Do you understand you're waiving any potential defenses that you may have to these charges? And how old are you and how far have you gone in school?
30 years old, or 31 years old, and I got my GED.
Okay. And you understood the agreement? Okay. And what is your plea to the possession of the firearm and taking a deer out of season?
No contest.
All right, I'll accept your no contest plea as freely, voluntarily, knowingly given. Count one will be an adjudication of guilt, 2 years probation, 615 court costs, forfeit the firearms to Fish and Wildlife. Count two is a withhold time served. All right, anything that I've missed?
And Your Honor, just to clarify, he's forfeiting any potential interest he has. We believe Ms. Coleman actually is the owner of the firearms, so if she can present proof, then Fish and Wildlife should return the firearms to her. I just wanted to make sure.
Usually involves a motion, so you might want to get on that before they do whatever they do to
Yes, sir,
dispose
and
of
she has a
evidence.
property list and everything they had.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will get that order to return property, or motion to return property, and then, Your
We
Honor.
shouldn't dispose it, I think at least for the time for appeal or whatnot, I think they keep it.
I understand. I just, sometimes things fall off to the
Yes.
back burner and they don't get done, or they sit on someone's desk for too long, including mine. I just want to make sure we get that done so nothing happens to
Understood,
someone
Your
else's
Honor.
property. All right, was there a guideline?
I have the score sheet.
All right, no objections to the score sheet. Didn't score, so it is a guideline sentence. All right. Mr. White, I need you to be fingerprinted. You have to talk to probation before you leave, and you have 30 days to appeal.
And I believe that's all I have, Your Honor, if I may be excused.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Browning.
Your Honor, Corey Brennan for Cody Ladner, 24 CF 2833. Judge, last time I'd asked the state to review this case for a misdemeanor offer. The prosecutor is no longer with us, and so I've asked Mr. Sick to
With the
review.
state.
For the state. And so I've asked Mr. Sick to review it for a misdemeanor. He's going to do that, and he's going to need to speak to the officer, so I asked for one more continuous, Judge. It's a newer case.
It's a newer case. All right, 6:23 at 9 o'clock.
Next, I have Stephen Poche, 24, I don't have the CF number. It originally started out as a CT case,
It's
Judge.
24 CF 1614.
Judge, we have a motion to suppress filed in that case. We've been having trouble getting a date that works for everybody.
I think that was the issue. It was already scheduled and had to be continued because of some witness availability.
Yes, Judge, I had, dates were available, but I had depositions scheduled that were scheduled months in advance with opposing counsel. So we asked to pass it, and we'll work diligently on getting that reset.
All right, let's get that reset. Hopefully set before that 6:23 date.
Yes, sir.
I may be opening up some other dates. It looks like all of my civil trials have washed out again.
Okay, good.
So,
And I've got two cases I'm going to handle for Mr. Jeremy Keats, Judge. Sir, I've got Sarah Dabney, 25 CF 114.
give me 1 second just so I can get to that. All right, go ahead.
And Judge, he has a resolution worked out to run concurrently with her probation in Bay County. He just needed a date to get the plea agreement entered.
Wait, which case was that?
Sarah Dabney, 25 CF 114. Sarah Dabney.
Oh, different document. I'm not seeing it.
Is it not on the
Under
docket?
someone else? maybe? Strange. It's, oh, okay. Which one? Okay. Looks like he was recently retained, so it's
Okay,
coming up under someone else. Let me just find it.
gotcha.
Mr. Browning, on behalf of Mr. Keach, who's recently retained, and it's under Ms. Flowers, okay. All right, go ahead.
Yes, Judge. he has a resolution worked out, Judge, to run with her probation in Bay County, so I anticipate he's going to enter a plea, but he's out of the office on 5/5 and 5/9. He mentioned something you may have a May 1st date available?
May 1st?
That's next Tuesday. I looked at it, and that was,
No, that's, May 1st would be Thursday.
oh, Thursday, gotcha.
Got it. Motion hearings listed that afternoon. And we're just done. Well, Digital Services, who works for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like I have Tuesday or Thursday afternoon open.
Okay.
So we can do that at 2 o'clock if you'd like.
May
We can
1st
do that.
at 2 p.m.?
2 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Which I guess we could do things early because we don't have arraignments. Let's just keep them at 2 o'clock.
Lastly, Judge, for Mr. Keach.
2 o'clock, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Lastly, of Cameron Gully.
I think he's actually already said on there for, but it's a JAC issue. It's not, so the state may not have that.
Oh, I got you.
What does he want to do with that case?
Cameron Gully, Judge, he's asking to move it, I believe, to your June cycle. They have deposition scheduled in Texas for June 11th and deposition in Utah scheduled for June 16th.
Those are both, you said June 16th was the second date?
Yes, Judge.
It's my case, Your Honor. Yes, that's correct. We have set them for those 2 weeks.
Y'all traveling to Texas
Yeah.
and Utah?
Yes, sir. Yes. Unfortunately, the majority of the witnesses reside out of state.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, it's
Familiar
gonna-
with the case. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
You replanted the other case last month, so this is going to be 6/23 at 9 o'clock. Going to be pushing towards last continuance.
I'll let him know, Judge.
I just, it's not anybody's fault. It's just a case where there's a lot of out-of-state people. There's been a lot of issues with it. So I'm not fussing other than I just want to make sure we make it a priority.
Oh, sir, I'll let him know.
It
Thanks,
is,
Judge.
Your Honor.
Obviously, you are. You're traveling all across the country to resolve it, so.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
thank you, Mr. Broden. All right, Mr. Riasti.
Morning, Your Honor. Joseph Riasti for Stephanie Lynn Medina, 2025 CF7. I was appointed to this case in late February, and I've had no contact with Ms. Medina. I called the bondsman, and the bondsman also has had no contact with her.
All right, is Stephanie Medina here? Is there anyone out in the hall? Do we know? No.
I believe she has no residence at this time.
They did a written plea of not guilty and it was taken off the docket. Or if you never got the date. Let's do a KPS, but just first appearance judge can set a bond, just to make that she gets it. So, anything else, Mr. Riasti?
That's all I have before Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Charles Williams.
First, I have State of Florida versus Tiffany Streeter. That's 24 CF 2811, Your Honor. I have a waiver of appearance from Ms. Streeter. Ms. Leone just picked this case up recently. We've spoken. There are a couple of co-defendants. I started coordinating last week. I think there's about 20, 21, 22 witnesses. I started coordinating depots last week with the other two attorneys in Ms. Leone's office, so.
Any witnesses in a theft case? I'm not saying I don't believe it, I'm just.
Actually, yeah, but it actually, there was a brawl involved. There was a big fight sort of.
The club, yes, Your Honor, I would estimate at least, at the very least, 15 witnesses.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
know
not
how-
saying, again, I'm not saying it's unbelievable, I'm saying it's unusual. So, okay, makes sense. And this is the first time up, I think.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's go June 23rd at 9 o'clock.
6:23 at 9 o'clock, yes, Your Honor. Next case I have is State of Florida versus Jessica Taylor. And, Your Honor, this is a case, Ms. Taylor's going to join me up here, she's coming up. Case number is 25 CF14. You appointed me to this case last Thursday.
Okay.
So I
So you're
don't
ready
have
to go.
discovery, I just met my client.
Okay.
In fact, that reminds me, I got to give you contact info, so don't leave before I do.
Yes, sir.
I've got it as the first pretrial, so.
Correct.
Okay. All right, let's put it on June 23rd at 9 o'clock so Mr. Williams can get caught up with your case. Make sure you make an appointment with him to speak with him about the case.
Yes, and I'm going to get her contact information before she leaves, so we can make sure we stay in contact. Your Honor.
Sometimes when there's conflicts, the PD, then it goes to RCC, and then it goes to Mr. Williams or someone in his.
I explained that process to
Okay.
her.
So it's just unfortunate. It's a process that we have to go through. Otherwise, well,
Yes.
people with the purse strings don't like it when we cut corners. So
Yes, sir.
we have to make sure that works out. All right, anything else?
That's it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we'll see you back on June 23rd at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
And next, Your Honor, I have State of Florida versus Sixto Rivera. There's two case numbers, 22 CF 1222 and 22 CF 1214 with Ms. Bessel. And
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualifying heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local
All right,
service.
Mr. Rivera,
We specialize
there's talk of setting the case for trial because there's been some negotiation, but y'all haven't come to any sort of resolution. Is that right?
I'm not pleading or doing any types of deal, so I'm waiting for the trial.
Okay. So the issue is as far as a trial, like the court calendar for this trial period is already pretty stacked for not only me, but Fernando Ms. Basso has at least one major trial this time around. So we're talking about the July trial weeks. So that would be either July 14th or 21st would be the trial.
Gives my attorney enough time to prepare the defense.
Yes, I know he's been in it late, so, you know, I've been trying to get this case to a resolution because it's pretty old. So I've been trying to push for it to be done this time, but I understand because Mr. Williams was recently appointed on it, Ms. Basso for the state has some other trials, and I know this trial period is going to be potentially pretty stacked with trials. In fact, I'm already thinking I'm going to need fill-in judges to help out because I think this trial period is going to be pretty heavy. So what I can do is put you on the June 23rd pretrial, have you come back, and then at that date, we'd be looking to set either the July 14th or July 21st trial dates. And I wouldn't consider, unless there's something way out of order, continuing past that.
This will be considered a priority for those weeks.
June 23rd, Your Honor?
June 23rd. So you'll be back here June 23rd, 9 o'clock. Obviously, we stay in touch with Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
And I'm going to put last continuance on that.
All right.
And thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Howell?
John Howell, on behalf of Mr. Stuckman, 22 CF 918. Your Honor, we're here from continuance from last month. And Your Honor, we have been in constant communications with the state, and we've reached an agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. The state at this time would request that the probation be terminated with substantial compliance and any outstanding funds go to collections, Your Honor.
So you're dismissing the VOP?
Yes, Your Honor.
Weren't there 2 new cases while he's been on probation?
Those cases were resolved, and I spoke to the individual attorney who was on the original case that resulted in the probation, and he has been monitoring this one very closely. One of those cases was null pros, and the other one it was leaving the scene of an accident, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead and make your announcement then.
Then the state is going to dismiss the violation of probation, Your Honor, and we're requesting that it be his probation be terminated with substantial compliance.
All right. Based on the state's announcement, VOP is dismissed. He's off probation.
And-
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, Your Honor, we request that any cost of supervision be waived or previous money owed.
I'm not going to waive it. It'll go to collection.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, once the supervision is terminated, the cost of supervision will not go to collections. We'll
Okay.
take care of that.
Okay. Well, send me the order.
Any court cost or anything would go to collections if he owes.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Morgan.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Client David Lee Roberts is approaching, Your Honor. This is case number 25 CF 11. We have reached an agreement with the state. May I approach?
Did you include a score sheet with that?
You have a score sheet? That's fine. All right. I'm reviewing the plea and sentencing agreement. Ms. Basso, have you discussed this with the alleged victim and her family?
Your Honor, my advocate did. I did not speak to him directly.
Okay. Did they have any objections to the plea agreement?
No, ma'am. No, sir. Sorry.
Happens every
I was
time.
in Judge Clark's.
It's okay. It happens literally every court date, I think, so. Just like someone raises their left hand, and I usually make the joke about someone calling me ma'am, so. All right, Mr. Roberts, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
Can you state your full name and date of birth?
David Lee Roberts, 32892.
All right, and Mr. Roberts, you're here in 25 CF 11, charged with one count of child abuse without causing great bodily harm, which is a third-degree felony and punishable up to 5 years in state prison and a $5,000 fine. Do you understand that? I've been handed a plea and sentencing agreement between you and the state that calls for you to get 3 years probation, complete anger management evaluation and any recommended treatment, no violent contact with the victim, and you're to use no corporal punishment. Is it on this child or any child?
On any child.
On any child.
Yes, sir.
That's what I assumed. I just wanted to make sure it was clear. All right. Do you understand that, Mr. Roberts?
Sir.
Did you go over this agreement?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the representation of from your lawyer?
Sir.
And is this what you want to do today? Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances?
No, sir.
Are you currently suffering from any mental health issues or concerns?
No, sir.
Has anyone forced, pressured, or threatened you in any way to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised anything in return for this plea?
No, sir.
And this was the state's agreement, correct? Okay. Do you understand if you plead no contest as indicated on this form, that there won't be a trial of any kind? And that you'd be giving up your trial rights, which are listed on page 2 of the agreement that you signed?
Sir.
And do you understand that you're waiving any potential defenses that you may have?
Sir.
And do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this could lead to your deportation?
Sir.
All right. And what is your plea?
Yes, sir.
I'll accept your no contest plea as freely, voluntarily, knowingly given. agreed-upon terms for 3 years probation, complete the anger management evaluation and any recommended treatment, no violent contact with the victim, and no corporal punishment to any child.
Yes, sir.
Okay, which includes anything that I've read in this arrest report. All right, you'll need to be, well,
Adjudication is withheld, Your
it's a
Honor.
withhold. I didn't say that yet. Withhold of adjudication, I need you to talk to probation, and then you have 30 days to appeal. This is a guideline sentence based on the guidelines that were given to me.
Sir?
$870.
Oh, court costs, $870? $666.
Oh. Okay. Not sure I like that number better, but.
It's cheaper.
Wanting the college supervision, if it's not waived, to be set at 40?
40 per month.
Thank you, Your Honor, that's all I had.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Mr. Cotton? You have a way of sitting behind someone when I call you that I can't see you when I call you.
Good morning, Judge. Your Honor, the first case I'd like to handle, if it please the court, is a case from Mike Gates, so I don't forget when I'm done with my cases. That's a Daniel Chapman,
I've made that mistake before plenty of times.
Sir?
Forgetting to cover for somebody.
I don't like to explain that later.
I usually figure it out about halfway back down to Fort Walton.
Exactly. Judge, I believe this is the first time up. Mr. Gates is requesting a continuance.
Yes, Your
First
Honor, we're
time.
working out a plea agreement.
Okay, it's the first time up. Do you want June 23rd?
Sounds good, Judge. Is that fine?
Yes, it is okay.
June 23rd. What do you have, Mr. Cotton?
Your Honor, I have two cases. The first is Alexis Kasombat, Kaosombat. You know, I've been working with the state on this. I know Mr. Sheik has just inherited this file. We did recently file a motion to dismiss and a motion for statement of particulars in that case. I spoke with that was not filed until Friday, Judge.
I saw the C4 motion was filed, but I hadn't seen the other one.
I believe it's been filed.
Processed yet.
It may not have been, Judge. I didn't file them at the same time. This case was continued previously for depositions. Those depositions have been set. I believe they're set within about the next 2 weeks, I'm for sure.
May 6th.
May 6th. Okay. Is May 6th our court date, or is that when my depot dates are?
May 6th is when your depots are.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you know. Judge, I think the short version is one more continues to be able to completely resolve this case. If we could go ahead and get a motion date for the, I'm not sure how the court assigns motion dates for the motion for statement of particulars and the motion to dismiss.
Sometimes I don't have anything, and then just get set.
I understand.
I think I've got June 3rd. Is that a miscellaneous date?
Okay with you, Josh? We may resolve it prior to that, Judge. Mr. Sheik's got some discussions he said he was going to have.
Okay. I can do Tuesday, June 3rd. That's the week, I think we moved our Thursday arraignments and everything to the Tuesday instead of Thursday.
Okay.
So June 3rd at 9 a.m., we can put that down
Okay.
for your motion. As far as,
If you want to use that as the pretrial, Judge, I can use it as a pretrial. If you want to put me on a
let's just put
pretrial
on the
docket.
June 23rd pretrial docket. The motions are going to be 6-3 at 9 o'clock, and the next pretrial is going to be June 23rd at 9 o'clock. Just make sure you do a notice of hearing on your motions.
I will make sure that's done, Judge.
Anything that y'all want me to read ahead of time, just make sure you send it to me. I would say probably the Friday beforehand, because I'm looking at my Monday.
Okay.
And it's literally, I've got about at least a dozen civil hearings that morning or that day before, so I'll probably have to read it the week previous. So if you could send it to me by Friday, the week before.
Will do, Judge. Your Honor, the next case I have is Michael Paycheck, P-E-C-H-A-C-E-K. Your Honor, this is currently set for a hearing this week on a motion to dismiss information that was part of an count to an information that was set.
This is that add-on count 5 or whatever it was. Sure. I need to talk to both of you anyway about
Tools and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestview.agent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple, to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
All right, so on paycheck, which is 24 CF 1486, our motion for Tuesday is going to be continued on the state's request, and that's going to be put on May 29th at 9 a.m. And then we'll put the next pretrial on June 23rd at 9 a.m. And the one from Thursday is going to May 29th, that motion here. And just make sure you file a new notice of that.
I will, Judge, and that's 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. Obviously, if y'all talk before you send the notice over and work out a different date, you can certainly do that.
That's fine,
Clear it with
Judge.
my office just to make sure that we don't put it on a date that we can't.
Because we talked about there may be a later date, but I want to talk to my client before I agree to any further extension. I appreciate that. Judge, there are two issues I need to address with the court. I know the state, we've requested, and the state is working on SRT videos. They were not provided an original discovery because the state or the sheriff's department has items that they believe should be redacted for tactical
procedures and tactics.
Procedure. We have had no objection to that. I know the state's working on that. I just want to let the court know, I think everybody's working on it. I wouldn't want the court to think I'm delaying anything, but we can't continue with our depositions in that case until we have these videos. So I'm cognizant that this case is a 24 case. When I come in next time, I don't know what the status of the videos will be I just wouldn't want to be penalized that for my client to be penalized for that.
I don't penalize people. I just try to push you towards a resolution.
Poor choice of words.
Somewhat familiar with the facts of it because of this case, and I handled their injunction case.
Right.
Obviously, your client knows that.
Yes, sir.
So I'm somewhat familiar with it, and I understand because of, especially with the SRT stuff, it's going to take a little while to get those videos.
Yes, sir.
But let's see if we can push on that. Okay.
That's my understanding. Thank you, Judge. That's all I've got before the court.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Luke.
I have George Masterson. We have a written plea and sentencing guidelines. May I approach?
Yes. Come on up. Sorry, I couldn't find it.
Judge, Mr. Masterson is a little hard of hearing, so I'll try to speak clearly. He's entering a plea of no contest at this time. The sentence will be a 30-day jail sentence, Okaloosa County Jail. That's to be completed by August 31st, 2025. And Judge, that's because Mr. Masterson works offshore. He's either offshore or traveling for work more than he is at home during the month. It's his responsibility to coordinate those dates and the number of days at a stretch to complete that sentence with the Okaloosa County Jail. He'll receive credit for any time served on this charge and any gain time he is to be awarded.
He's not going to be on any sort of probation or supervision?
No, sir.
So who's monitoring this?
Brought back before the court, I suppose, if he's violates.
But who's going to be the one that brings it back in front of the court if he doesn't do it? I'm not saying he's not going to do it, but there always has to be some mechanism in place.
We can monitor that with the jail to see to that he has completed by that date.
I'll suggest maybe we put a status date after the August 31st date then, and if it's not done by August 31st, then we'll come back to that date and we'll talk about how he's potentially going to be sentenced up to the 5-year maximum.
Okay.
I couldn't hear what he said.
I'll say it louder again. All right, so Mr. Masterson, what your plea agreement with the state entails is for you to do 30 days, but because you work offshore, you're going to have to coordinate those days.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of that. However, especially when you're not on probation, so there's no one to monitor you. So what I'm going to do is I'll accept the agreement y'all have made, but I'm going to give you another court date that's after that August 31st date, and if you haven't finished up your jail time by then you're going to come back in front of me where I can sentence you to up to the maximum potential penalty, which is 5 years in state prison. Do you understand
I'm fine with that, Your Honor.
Okay. So can you find me a date that's shortly after there? Well, there's August 7th. August 7th, right? Oh, it's August 31st. Okay. So why don't we just put it on after arraignments on September 4th? Okay. All right, Mr. Masterson, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, state your name and date of birth.
George Thomas Masterson, 3/27/1971.
Okay. All right, and you're here in 24 CF 2149, charged with failure to report an email address as a sexual offender, correct? You're here for failure to report an email address as a sexual offender, correct?
Yes.
All right, that's a third-degree felony that's punishable by up to 5 years in state prison and a $5,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, I've been given a plea and sentencing agreement between you and the state that calls for you to do 30 days in county jail, be adjudicated guilty. That jail will have to be coordinated with the county jail, and if this doesn't work out, you're going to have to do something to come back and fix it. Well, I'm just worried the jail is going to say this doesn't work out. Because, they're not a motel. You can't just kind of check in and out. You're going to have to get that coordinated. I would do that sooner than later. Because, again, if it's not done by the date, August 31st, that y'all have agreed to, then you're going to come back for sentencing.
Yes, sir.
And this is a guideline.
It's a departure, Your Honor.
It's a departure
Attached a sheet with departure language.
where your lowest permissible prison sentence is 82.8 months. All right, so that's more than the maximum. You can actually get 82.8 months if you don't do your county jail time as you've agreed to with the state. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
State want to put anything on the record as to why it's offered a downward departure of 30 days in county jail when there's a score of 82 months?
Yes, Your Honor. There has, first of all, there's been a substantial gap in the time since prior offenses. He has been in compliance and has been registering as required. The nature of the violation, it's not, there's no indication that he is lurking or stalking any children. It was an email address violation on Facebook. So we believe based on the totality of the circumstances.
So it's not an email address, he's got a Facebook account, or at least allegedly did.
It's an internet identifier, Your Honor.
Sure.
It falls under email and,
I know, that's the problem. It's like earlier I had to ask someone if their case involved a deer or a turkey. It just gives one list that has all the potentials. I just want to know exactly what it is, because email address is one thing. Using social media, I think, is different.
it falls under the same subsection, but it was a Facebook account.
Has the state investigated to make sure it's not being used for any other purposes?
Yes, Your Honor, they did use the officers on the case did follow up on that. First of all, if there had been any concerns as to how it might have been used.
And I believe there were other accounts he had disclosed, he just failed to disclose Facebook.
All right, Mr. Masterson, just going back through the agreement that you've made with the state, is that you have to coordinate those 30 days of jail, receive credit for any time served on this charge. I'm not sure what this means. Defendant to receive credit for any time served on this charge and any gain time awarded.
He receives gain time on the 30 days. I'm not sure whether the jail will do that or not.
I wouldn't expect they would if it's not consecutive. $515 in court costs to be paid within 90 days. This is a downward departure based on a plea bargain with the state. Is that what you want to do, Mr. Masterson?
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay, court costs will actually be $666.
Much.
Six.
All right, do we have one of the headphone things we can give him? Frankly, I want to make sure he's hearing all of this. Mr. Masterson, they have something you can listen and it comes straight
Yes, sir,
through the
thank you.
microphone, so you can hear what I'm telling you. Ms. Basso, you said it's been a long time. Sorry to spook you there. When was his designation offense? You said it had been some time. All right, Mr. Masterson, did you go over this agreement with your lawyer, Mr. Luke?
Yes, I did.
And did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
And did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes, I am.
Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances?
No, sir.
Are you suffering from any mental health issues?
No, sir.
Has anyone forced, pressured, or promised you anything in order to get you to take this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you'd be giving up your right to a trial and all the trial rights, which are on page 2 of the agreement that you signed.
Sir.
You understand you're waiving all potential defenses that you may have?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you understand that if you don't complete your jail time in the time allotted, that you can be sentenced up to 82.8 months when you come back for your next court date?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this could lead to your deportation?
Yes, sir.
All right, what is your plea to the failure to report the internet identifier?
No contest.
I'll accept your no contest plea is freely, voluntarily, knowingly given, sentence you to 30 days in county jail to be completed by August 31st. It's up to you to coordinate those days with the jail to make sure they're done by that date. Obviously, if there's going to be a problem with that, you're going to have to bring that to the court's attention as fast as possible. Otherwise, it may not be acceptable.
Yes, sir.
You receive any credit for time served or gain time if the jail gives it to you. They can determine jail time or gain time, not me. $666 in court costs to be paid within 90 days. This is a downward departure based on uncoerced plea agreement.
Yes, sir.
All right, I need you to be, this is adjudication of guilt. I'm going to need you to be fingerprinted. You have 30 days to appeal.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Newland. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's going to be a plea to a lesser included offense of possession.
You approach for just 1 minute.
For years, I proudly served Florida as a state trooper. During that time, I investigated over 1,000 car, motorcycle, and trucking crashes. My mission was simple: to help the victims. Now, as an injury attorney, I can do even more to help accident victims. Hi, I'm attorney Coy Browning. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'd be honored to help you. Call or visit us at browninglawfirm.com.
Is there any time frame on the inpatient treatment as far as starting it and how long it has to be
Request 90 days to get
to start the program?
It's my understanding, Your Honor, defendant wants to enter the program as soon as possible, so I suggested that she be placed on probation now. In the meantime, she will be applying, I guess, and getting approval.
I just don't know if it's going to be a week-long program or a 6-month program, and if I don't say a number, then it's kind of really hold somebody accountable for if she doesn't do what was expected.
I don't think she has one yet, but normally inpatient, what probation accepts, it's.
Well, let me kind of clear something up a little. It's about what the court decides, and then probation carries that order out. Okay, but I want to know: is there an issue that y'all have talked about? Is this going to be 14 days, 28 days, 6 months? Is there some sort of idea on what that is?
You mean the duration?
I think I could get certainly reversed and maybe even end up with a complaint if I give over my discretion to other agencies. There's cases that are quite on point as far as that goes. There's no problem with probation. I want to hear your recommendations on almost every case. It's just I have to make the decision when it has to go on the record. Otherwise, it hasn't been said in court. That's what my concern is.
I guess it depends on the program that accepts it because they have different duration. I don't know how to answer that question.
Minimum of 60 days.
Minimum of 60 days?
That would be fine.
Okay. Miss, pronounce it for me.
Shufflebine.
Shufflebine?
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Shufflebine, are you okay with the 60-day minimum? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I just want it to be clearer. All right. All right. And so can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. So in 24 CF 2609, you're currently charged with trafficking in methamphetamine, which has a 30-year maximum sentence and a 7-year mandatory minimum sentence. Do you understand that? Okay. I've been handed a plea and sentencing agreement that calls for you to plead to a lesser included offense of possession of a controlled substance, withhold adjudication, $615 in court costs, 3 years probation, attend ECLC, which is the Emerald Coast Life Center, until finding an inpatient agreement, and then you must successfully complete that inpatient treatment. So that inpatient treatment will have to be a minimum of 60 days, and you'll have to start it, which means you're on campus and overnight within 90 days. Do you understand that? Okay. Do you understand all the terms that are written on this agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you go over this agreement with your attorney, Mr. Newland? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Newland's advice and representation?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently, it's fine. Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances?
No, sir.
Are you currently suffering from any mental health issues?
No, sir.
Has anyone forced, pressured, or threatened you in any way to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the terms of the agreement in order to encourage your plea? And do you understand that if you enter a plea of no contest, as it says in this form, that there won't be a trial of any kind? And do you understand you'd be giving up all your trial rights, which are on page 1 of the agreement that you signed? And do you understand that pleading to this, if you're not a U.S. citizen, could lead to your deportation?
Sir.
And what is your plea?
No contest.
I'm going to accept your no. Oh, hold on just a second. All right, so it's a 0 guideline. There's no guideline sentence, right, because of the change in, okay. All right, so this is a guideline sentence. I'm going to accept your no contest plea as freely, voluntarily, knowingly given to the lesser charge of possession of a controlled substance, withhold adjudication, $615 in court costs, 3 years probation, attend ECLC until finding an inpatient program, which will be a minimum of 60 days. And you successfully complete that inpatient treatment. You have to begin that treatment within 90 days from today's date. And you need to speak with probation before you leave. They're going to want to discuss with you how it's going to work once you go into the program, so they know how to handle that, especially if location-wise. I would assume that's going to be an issue. So make sure you discuss this from day one with them so they can be ready for it. And if anything needs to be done from me, I can get that done for you so you can get there in a timely fashion. All right.
Do I talk to him here or I'm at the probation office?
Right here.
Oh.
They're right behind
Sorry.
you. They're going to talk to you this morning and give you some reporting instructions. All right, otherwise you've got 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Judge. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Newland. Mr. Hardy.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm morning. Jake Corley, 25 CF 297. Mr. Corley's present and approaching. Your Honor, we've got a plea agreement from the state that we're still kind of mulling over. It's the first time up. I'm going to ask to continue it, and obviously if we settle it, I'll bring it in early.
Okay. All right, it is the first time up. Any objection to the continuance?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Corley, be back here on June 23rd at 9 o'clock for your next pretrial conference. Obviously, if y'all work it out and you want to bring it in sooner, you can certainly do that. Just find a date.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm trying to judge who was here earliest. I don't remember. I like your assertiveness, Mr. Tony. All right, Mr. Tony. I don't want to judge it based on when I saw you walk in, because you may have been in and out of the door several times, so.
And I'm here.
Or you can arm wrestle Mr. Tony for it. How about that?
Gunner here with State versus Kevin McKinney, and that case number is 24 CF 1580C. We're still trying to set depositions in this, Your Honor, so we're asking for a continuance at this time.
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. McKinney has a waiver on file as well, Judge.
What's the delay in the depositions?
Well, we're just trying to coordinate it with the office. We've reached out to that office, and we understand that they're extremely busy at this time, Your Honor. And it's a deposition of probably about 6 officers, so it's going to take a minute.
Well, let's make sure we get as many done as possible, if not all of them, by next time, because this case will be just about a year old the next time you come in.
Okay.
All right, June 23rd, 9 o'clock.
That's all I have. Thanks, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Powell, Mr. Nopes.
It's actually me, Judge. I was actually ahead of Mr. Tony. He doesn't care. Judge, I've got Mr. Barnhill. Judge, he's actually, he had a child support pickup order that got served on April 9th, so he's currently incarcerated. So,
You want to bring him back on Wednesday?
Wednesday, please.
Give me the name again.
Andrew Barnhill, 23 CF 1308 and 24 CF 496.
I know he's not here, but what are y'all expecting to do on Wednesday?
Judge, the state had, she and I need to talk. It's a good thing we're going to put it on for Wednesday. She's made an offer, and I've talked to my client, and I don't think it's going to work.
Okay, well, he's got 2 cases. One's from June of 23 and one's from February of 24, so.
I understand, Judge.
If it's not worked out, I'm expecting a trial date.
I understand.
All right, go ahead.
Judge, I then have Brian Scott Boyd, 24 CF 2137. Judge, I've got a plea to a misdemeanor that Listen and I worked out.
Yeah, no, it's mine.
Oh, it's yours?
She just officially made the offer.
Okay.
Mr. Maddox, you know, you'll start at 1, right?
Well, I had a few cases that were left on this docket, so they were here. I wanted to make sure I came in and at least made contact. I'm happy to take care of them if Your Honor would allow it, otherwise we'll handle it in
I
the
think we'll
afternoon.
have the time this morning.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Been doing some other stuff over here, though, staying productive.
All right, so this is State of Florida versus Brian Scott Boyd, 24 CF 2137. I've been handed a plea and sentencing agreement where count 1 is to be null pros by the state. Is that correct, Mr. Sheik?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And count 2 is misdemeanor marijuana possession. All right, and it calls for adjudication of guilt, time served, court costs of $270, and a cost of prosecution of $100, all to be payable within 3 months. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
I'll accept the written plea. It's going to be dismissal of count 1, count 2, time served, 270 and 100, payable within 90 days. Go ahead, Mr. Nopes.
Judge, the next case I've got is Madison Rose Chancey, 23 CF 427. Judge, the state extended an offer, and then we had to have a conversation. Mr. Flowers has the co-defendant.
We've already discussed it earlier.
Okay, so if I could leave mine set for docket day, we got the agreement Friday afternoon. We emailed her. I was out of town, so we scheduled her for a telephone conference tomorrow afternoon. Can we leave it set for docket day?
I think that's what we did with the other one, so May
Cool.
5th at 9 o'clock.
Okay. Next case I've got is Terry L. Dunn, 25 CF 73. Judge, we're scheduling depositions in that case.
It's the first time up. Any objection to the continuance?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, June 23rd, 9 o'clock.
Judge, the next case I've got is Bradley Paul Giese or Giese, 24 CF 2875. Judge, we're also trying to set depots in that case. We just got a restitution form from the state last week, I think. So I've got to set deposition. The restitution's a lot of money.
June 23rd, 9 o'clock. It's the second time up.
Judge, I then have Christopher Dean McCoy, 24 CF 2540. Judge, we just had depositions, and I've not had a chance to speak to the state. The state was not present at the depots, so there was no chance for her and I to communicate. I'd like to put it on the next pretrial. I think it's only the second time up.
It's going to be resolved, Your Honor, so I'm fine with that. Mr. Schick covered for me the depositions that day.
Oh, okay. Someone
Yeah,
was there.
someone
Just wasn't
was
you.
there,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
somebody was there.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Like Mr. Nopes.
You know, but normally if your prosecutor's there after you take the depot, you
I
have a chance to
understand that.
communicate.
Just the way you said it sounded like nobody was there.
No, I'm sorry, Judge.
All right, 6:23 at 9 o'clock.
Judge, the next case I have is Stacy Ray McDonald, 24 CF 1182. The state, I just got an email. I think they know prosecute.
I already did, Your Honor. It might take some time processing the null pros with benchmark, but I did dismiss it.
Case has been dismissed.
Thank you.
You're good to go.
Ms. McDonald, how did everything go since?
Good.
Good to hear that.
Thank you very much.
The next case, Judge, is J.C. Eddie Rycroft. He's present. I had been talking to Justina Turner, and she was going to speak to the victim in the case. Judge, this is not a triable case from the defense side.
I'm not sure I would admit that, Mr. Nopes.
Pardon me?
I'm not sure I would just admit that, but.
Well, we still have a trial, but I don't want to be, I mean, we understand what happened. The problem is he's never had a conviction as a felon on anything. I don't think he has a really terrible record. And so that was my big hang-up. She was going to talk to the victim and find out, and then that rolled into that the victim is a minor and the parents wanted to talk, and then I don't know what happened to it. That's where we were last time we were here. So I don't know if you want to put it on for docket day. Maybe whoever's got it now can. I just think somebody needs to speak with the victim or the victim's parents to make sure there's no way we could get a withhold.
This is direct filed.
I
You were
don't.
juvenile at the time.
I don't remember that part. I didn't bring the file. Yeah, he was. That's what he's telling me that.
Who has this for the state now?
I do,
District
Your Honor.
sheet? I guess my one concern would be is that the alleged victim in the case is not only a minor, but a minor who's also on our docket.
Oh.
So the concern of potentially the state attorney talking to that person.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think they're set for Wednesday.
For
Is that
Wednesday?
Mr. Williams' case, I believe he represents?
Do you know the defense attorney you said?
I think it's Mr. Williams, Charles Williams. Let me look real quick. Yes, it's Charles Williams. That
I can
has 4
speak to
cases
him.
on our docket that are being handled, I think, by Miss Leone. Whittington is the alleged victim. So I just might want to talk to Mr. Williams to make sure he's not,
Don't go directly. Yes, Your Honor.
that there's not a concern about the state attorney talking to a defendant.
Sure, I guess if we could,
Why don't we put it on Monday and y'all see if you can figure it out? Mr. Williams will be here with the alleged victim on Wednesday. So maybe y'all can see what y'all want to do about it at that point. But, I mean, Mr. Rycroft has been here at least half a dozen times to talk about how this case is almost over. And I'm not being critical, I'm just saying, you know, he's been here a bunch of times, so.
I'm supposed to speak with Mr. Williams about Mr. Whittington's case, so I will mention this issue with
Okay.
him.
Just that way y'all can have an idea on what you might want to do on Wednesday if you need to do anything. Then we'll come back Monday,
Yes.
the 5th, and hopefully resolve the case one way or the other.
very
Yes,
good,
sir.
Judge, thank
All
you.
right. We'll see you back on Monday, Mr. Rycroft.
Judge, the last, well, I've got 2 other cases, but the last case on the 9 o'clock docket is Ralph Thompson. Judge, you modified his bond the other day so he could get out of jail to go to rehab, physical rehab.
Yes.
I don't know. Nobody ever let me know. I thought he was going to contact me or somebody was going to contact me and tell me where he ended up landing at. But I've not had any contact. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that I don't know where he got released to or who come picked him up.
You sure that was signed?
I'm sorry?
He was in the jail?
He was in jail and we had a bond hearing. Got him mixed up with somebody else.
Ralph Jeremy Thompson was released. Signature filed in March.
Got the wrong Thompson.
Only Ralph Thompson that was in the jail was released back in March.
Judge, that sounds about right.
Oh, okay.
That was, we had a
When
bond
you said, I
hearing.
thought it was like it happened last week.
No, I'm sorry, Judge. No, it was happened within the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. But again, I don't know where he got released to.
He might be here on Wednesday. So why don't we just put the case for Wednesday?
Okay.
Because that's what his bonds say, because he was in custody at the last time we set the pretrial. So let's see if he shows up on Wednesday.
That's good. And Judge,
On pretrial supervision, I believe, so they should know where he's at.
yeah, I'll try to call them this afternoon. Judge, there's another case on today's docket at 1 o'clock that I just got, I got appointed on 4A, is Joseph Lawley. And it
Yes.
says it's set for pretrial at 1 o'clock. I thought that was strange.
That's because it was a PD case at the time.
Oh, okay, I got
Oh,
you.
defender cases are at 1 o'clock, so.
So, do you want me to be back here?
We can address it now if you'd rather.
Judge, it's a brand-new case for me. I was just going to ask that it be continued.
Any objection to that?
There is no objection, Your Honor. However, I want to state it on the record. There was a probation offer that was offered in the case, but it will be revoked if not taken by next pretrial because the defendant scores prison time, and victim is cooperative. He was actually here this morning, the victim.
Why don't we just put it at 1 o'clock? I can be back at 1.
You can be back?
Absolutely.
Let's keep it at 1 o'clock then.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'll do
We'll
that.
address it at 1.
That works, Judge. I think that's all I've got.
Mr. Catalinic, can I take, since I'm already on the K cases, I might as
Your
well just.
Honor, If I may, before Mr. Nopes leaves, I was reviewing Mr. Thompson's records, and as far as notice is concerned, the benchmark shows that he was given notice that the next court date was gonna be 4/28/25 and 9 a.m.
Well, there was
And
two-
he's got
two notices.
another one, 9/30/25 at 9 a.m. And he's on pretrial services under.
I'm looking at his signature bonds that show April 30th at 9 o'clock.
I know.
Because he was in custody at the time. Go ahead.
I was just looking at something that was filed on Benchmark, is the pretrial services notice of pretrial supervision. That's what I was reading off of. In any event, he's under supervision by pretrial services, so they should know where he is.
I'll call him.
Mr. Nope said he was going to call them this afternoon.
I guess he got, on that document, he got notice for both dates, but you're saying the actual signature bond that he signed is 4:30.
That's
Okay,
4:30, which
that's
is
fine, Your
because he
Honor.
was in jail at the time we set the pretrial. So that's why we gave, and it didn't, I don't think they just change him because someone gets released. There'd have to be, something from the court saying to do that, which I'd be happy to do. I'm sure it just won't work. And then people will be showing up on the wrong date and getting a capias, and I'm trying to avoid that, so we'll put him on 4:30, like his signature bond says, and if he doesn't show up then, hopefully Mr. Nopes will have heard something by then.
Yes, Your Honor. that's
All right,
fine.
we'll see you all back
They'll
tomorrow.
see you about 1 o'clock.
Oh, yes. All right, Mr. Katalinik?
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, the
Oh,
first
and I
case.
changed the page for his, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge.
I turned the page because he had that 1 o'clock docket case, so, but I called you up because I was already on K cases.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
The first case that I have, Your Honor, is Tamika Hilliard, Hilliard, 24 CF 1487. Ms. Hilliard, Your Honor, she was just here. I think she may have stepped out. But we completed all our depositions in the case. And Ms. Barrickman, did you want to add to it? Basically, Your Honor, we're ready for trial, but we also have a witness that lives out of state. And I think there's a concern about getting that witness down in here in time. Is that correct?
That's correct. In addition, I think we're still in some plea negotiations, so I would like to coordinate travel and Hartsette back down here from Georgia for trial.
Okay. So we talked about that with another case already this morning. So the trial weeks for the next cycle will be July 14th and 21st. So if y'all want to figure out what would work best, kind of tell us, everyone, if you want to kind of pick a date for sure and be kind of, number one on the docket.
Yes, sir.
Get it to me earlier, that way I can plan that, because if someone else says they want that date, and I'll say, well, you should have got here faster.
Yes, sir.
Kind of first come, first served as far
Yes,
as
sir.
setting those dockets when we're trying to do the same thing, out-of-state witnesses, getting people here. Okay.
That's July 14th and July 21st.
Those would be the trial weeks. Yes.
And this is Ms. Tamika Hilliard, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Ms.
I'll explain
Hilliard.
everything that basically happened. Ms. Hilliard, the case is going to be continued for a month, and we're going to be ready for trial at that point, okay? Unless we come to some plea offer conclusion,
Okay.
okay?
Yes.
I'll talk to you outside.
Obviously, y'all work something out, and you want to bring it in on a sooner date, you're welcome to do so.
Yes, sir. I will keep in contact.
Shoot me an email. We'll chat.
All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
so, Ms. Hilliard, we'll see you back on June 23rd at 9 o'clock for your next pretrial. Obviously, if your lawyer contacts you and says, hey, there's a new offer and you want to take it, we can probably find a sooner date to get this done. Otherwise, we'll see you back on June 23rd.
Yes, sir, thank
Okay.
you.
I'll talk to you later. Yes. Your Honor, the next case that I have is Mr. Stephen Harrell, Harrell. I filed a waiver, 24 CF 2421. Your Honor, we're in the process of getting depositions. This is the second continuance. I apologize about that. We should have depositions set sometime in the middle of the month of May.
Who has this for the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are we getting depositions done?
We're gonna.
You have them set yet?
They will be done in May, sir.
Okay. Well, that's,
We're already coordinating with the offices about setting them up.
okay. Let's just make sure they're done before we get back on June 23rd.
Oh, of course. Yes, sir. The next case that I have, Your Honor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
is Holly Nicole Mason, Mason, 24 CF 2413. Your Honor, this is
I
my
think
first
you're-
continuance.
It's on the 1 o'clock docket, because you just got onto the case, right?
Yes, sir.
It was on the PD docket before, so I'm just telling the clerk that's where.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Your Honor, I just got this case recently on early April, and I'm asking for a continuance to do depots on it, sir.
No objection.
6:23 at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Want to make sure to get you on the right docket now that it's your
Yes,
case
sir.
instead of on the PD docket. All right, 6:23, 9 o'clock.
The last case that I have, Your Honor, is Taylor Michael Wood, WOOD 25 CF 53. It's a brand-new case, Your Honor, but I think we're going to be able to resolve it. We have depositions already set with Ms. Leone on May 6th at 2 p.m. Is that right?
I don't remember the date,
May
but I
6th.
do, yes, that's fine.
Yeah, we should have it fixed by the next court date after that, sir.
I'm just trying to find it because I didn't see it under. Oh, no, it is under review. All right, you just kind of jumped around on me a little bit, so.
I'm sorry.
All right, it's fine. All right, so do you want to come back on the June 23rd pretrial?
I would like to, and I think it's going to be resolved on that day, sir.
Sounds good.
Thank you. That's
Be
all
back
I
that
have.
day. All right. Thank you,
Your
sir.
Honor, thank you.
Have a good day. All right, Mr. Powell?
Lisa Johnson, Judge, but she's an inmate. It's my understanding that now they're moved to Wednesday on all the
Oh,
inmates.
She an inmate now?
24 CF 2693. But
I've got her on this docket.
I had her on this docket. Here, but this is the first time up with
I
that.
think the issue is, this is a South End case, and it was transferred up here, and so they just gave it the Monday date instead of maybe not knowing she was in jail. So we can just keep her on for Wednesday, and we'll have her transported for court that day.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, so 4:30. Do you have anything else, Mr.
Yeah,
Powell?
I've got one for Bo, Justin Busby, 23 CF 2415. I think it's under the name of Tanya Carter.
Oh, that's like number one on the docket.
And they've had some depositions. They got another one set June the 4th. They had to reset it. State was in court. We need a continuance. No objection.
No objection, however, the state will be ready for trial next time on this one. There's also an associated case in Mississippi that proceed with that case.
Okay. I know that's one of the reasons this case is so old, but I'll put it on the 6/23 date. But I'm inclined to say no further continuances as well. I know it's not your case, but
I understand, Judge.
if you could pass that on to Bo Powell.
Do it.
This case is from October of 23.
It's Mississippi. They're trying to get deposition in Mississippi.
Oh, I know.
A lot
I mean,
of
we've
moving
talked about it
parts.
several times now, but.
Okay, I understand.
We did get that round done.
Yeah, there were depots, it looks like April 3rd in Mississippi. There were some April 9th here. Now there's another one on June 4th. Let's
There's
just,
the one on April 9th, we did have to cancel, I was in court with the day of trial.
oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, June 23rd, 9 o'clock.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
Anything else?
Yes, sir. Dixie has got a case, Devin Jones, 24 CF 2291. The felony was dismissed, and he's filed with the court a written plea for misdemeanor in an order. I don't know if you got it or whatever you want me to do with it. He said there was he said he'd already filed it. He's in depositions. Mr. Jones has a brain injury from a car accident. He's in pretty bad shape.
And we talked about it a little bit last time. I haven't received anything, Miss.
I am not aware of anything being filed. I just had to note that the deal, or the offer was to no pros counts 1 and 4 for a plea to counts 2 and 3.
Okay.
But that was all the notes that were left
I
for me.
think that was the discussion that we had last time. The problem is, I think we've been in 3 court dates and we've had 3 different state attorneys on it. Nothing against that, but I think that's part of the confusion. So why don't we just put them on May 5th next Monday and see if we can't get it resolved, because I don't have anything filed with me. Well,
I'll advise you. May 5th, right?
yes. I see something has been gone through the portal today that just says order and acceptance of plea, but it's only one page and there's no terms, so.
Let's do it
I'm
on
not sure
May
I can,
5th.
I'm not sure what I'm accepting at that point. So let's just put it on for May 5th. And if you could have, I hate using people's first names, but if you could have Dixie here on that date. But there's just 3 Mr. Powells that I'm talking to her about, so I want to make sure it's clear.
I'll have him here, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you very
9
much.
o'clock.
That's
Thank
all
you.
I got.
All right, thank you, Mr. Powell. Mr. Cobb?
Judge, the first case I have is State of Florida versus Robert Brown.
Looks like a brand-new case.
Yes, sir, as I was appointed on April 8th, I filed the notices and demands for discovery on the 11th of April. I'm going to be asking for, one continuance so I can get caught up to speed and discuss some issues with Mr. Brown.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, June 3rd at 9 o'clock. You back on that date, Mr. Brown.
He's giving me his phone number really quick. Was that 99? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Judge, the next case I have of out of custody is State of Florida versus James Jackson, 24 CF 2486. He's present. Judge, I have depositions in that case scheduled on June 19th, and I was going to be asking for a continuance.
June 23rd.
Yes, sir.
Pretrial
June
date?
23rd.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
June 23rd at 9 o'clock.
And I've
Sure,
discussed.
stay in touch with your lawyer, Mr. Jackson, and we'll see you back on that date.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Judge, the next case I have is State of Florida versus Angela Sword. She's present here today, and she's executed a written plea. May I approach?
Thank you, sir. Are there guidelines? While I'm working on the rest of it.
We can get some guidelines for you. I apologize, Your Honor.
This is State of Florida versus Angela Sword in 2024 CF 2494, charged with 1 count of possession of controlled substance without a prescription, and then 1 count of the misdemeanor possession of narcotic equipment. The agreement between the defense and the state is she's going to withdraw her previously her plea of not guilty and her plea of no contest, be adjudicated guilty and sentenced to time served.
That would be a guideline sentence?
Yes, it would be, Your Honor.
Okay.
We'll get that printed over here.
No problem. I just want to make sure it gets in the file, but I just have to verify that's what's going to be. All right, Ms. Sword, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you state your name and date of birth, please?
Angela Marie Sword, 6/7/1981.
Okay, Ms. Sword, you're here in 24 CF 2494, where you're currently charged with possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, which is a third-degree felony, punishable up to 5 years in state prison. And count 2, possession of narcotic equipment, a misdemeanor, with punishment up to 1 year in county jail. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, I've been handed a plea and sentencing agreement between you and the state that calls for you to be adjudicated on both counts, sentenced to time served. Court costs would be $615. And then I can give you 30 days to either pay that or set up a payment plan with the clerk's office. All right, just make sure you go down that and do that within the next 30 days.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, is that the agreement that you thought you had, Ms. Sword? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, did you go over this agreement with your lawyer, Mr. Cobb? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it?
Yes.
And are you satisfied with Mr. Cobb's representation in this case?
Yes.
All right, are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances?
No.
Are you currently suffering from any mental health issues or concerns?
No,
All right. Has anyone forced, pressure, or threatened you in any way to enter this plea?
no,
Has anyone promised you anything in return for your plea? By entering this plea, do you understand there will be a trial of any kind, and you'll be giving up your trial rights, which are listed on page 2 of the agreement you signed? All right. You understand you're waiving all potential defenses that you may have?
yes,
This calls for an adjudication of guilt, so you know this makes you a convicted felon. Okay. And do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this could lead to your deportation?
yes,
All right. And what is your plea to the possession of controlled substance and possession of narcotic equipment?
no contest,
All right. I'll accept your no contest plea as freely, voluntarily, knowingly given. Adjudication of guilt as to both counts. You just gave it at $615 court costs? I just went blank for a minute there, sorry. $615 in court costs, again, 30 days to pay those or set up a payment plan. Just do that with the clerk's office downstairs on the first floor. I'm going to need you to be fingerprinted, and you have 30 days to appeal.
okay,
All right,
thank you.
Ms. Sword.
Thank you.
Judge,
Guideline sentence, I just haven't got the guidelines yet. Looks like they're coming in from the back of the room right now.
the next case I have is State of Florida versus Lonnie Ward. He's present here today. That's case number 2024 CF 2269. Judge, we had depositions on March 28th. I believe 2 witnesses didn't show up, but the majority of the witnesses did show up. And during the course of the depositions, I learned or discovered I'm going to need to do a motion and proposed order to have the affidavit of probable cause for the search warrant released and the warrant, which is sealed. I haven't done that yet, and I apologize to the court. I know this is one of my older ones. It was filed in November, and I wrote here, I'm going to ask for a continuance and tell the court you want to ask for another one.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of getting the depositions transcribed as well.
And I did sign that order back on April 4th.
Okay, good.
So you're asking for a continuance?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the new depots set yet?
No, sir, we don't have them set yet. It's really not, I mean, I'm going to set them, but the depositions that I did take, if pressed, I could move forward with it, but I'm still trying to negotiate with the state to help Mr. Ward out. And I am asking for that one more continuance so I can continue to try to work to come up with a resolution of the case. But if I can't by then, we'll have to go to trial.
We'll talk about it, but June 23rd, 9 o'clock. I mean, it's not a terribly old case. I've got cases that are a year older than this, and I'm not getting the contrition that I'm getting right now from you, Mr. Cobb, so.
I just know he's got a life to get on with.
Oh, I understand.
And he wants to get it resolved too, so.
I mean, we just got to get things moving along. Witnesses have to show up. But I'll put it on June 23rd at 9 o'clock. Obviously, if you're going to file that motion, let's get that heard before June 23rd. Should be plenty of dates to put that on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll see you back on that day, Mr. Ward.
Judge, and Mr. Switek asked me to cover a case for him.
A few more of yours, I thought.
Inmates.
They're in, why?
Yeah.
And why are they on this docket? Oh, well, no, I don't actually. But
I knew
I'm not
when
saying it didn't happen. I just don't remember it.
I knew when I saw them they weren't going to be here today. So.
Okay.
Mr.
Well, let me
Switek.
just make sure I get it because they're on my docket still, and I just want to make sure I'm getting all of them. So that was Eddie Hudson. Okay, and I think that was a transfer. So that's probably part of the issue. So that'll be 8:30.
And Kevin Russell
Kevin
and, yeah, the other ones were left on the docket for Wednesday.
Okay, I just want to make sure everyone's marked.
Mr. Lopez here today? I don't believe he's in.
These are Glenn Switek's
These are
cases.
Glenn Switek's cases. One of them is in custody, so he's not going to be on the docket, but I believe Mr. Lopez was out of custody. Yeah.
That's the one where we have the trial certain for the second week of the trial period.
May 19th, I think, yeah.
Yes. All right, so, but he's got to be here. Let's put it on for 5/5, the docket date, just to make sure, since you're not the attorney and Mr. Switek's client is not here. Is he from out of state? I know that's the issue. There's, And I haven't signed the order about that one witness appearing on Zoom yet, just because I wanted to talk to y'all about who it is and what they're going to testify to, so I can have an idea on it. Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I just want to make sure I know what it is, so I can kind of be prepared for it.
I'll let Mr.
Not
Switek
an
know.
expert witness.
Oh, I understand.
Yes, sir, I'll let Mr.
All right,
Switek
so
know.
that's going to be trial. We've already talked about that. So 5/5 would be the docket day, then 5/19 for trial.
Yes, sir. I believe that wraps up my business with the court.
All right. Well, so are his other ones?
May I approach with Ms. Swords?
Yes. Pierce is an inmate? Okay. Yes, you can come up, Mr. Sheep.
Yeah, Mr. Switek had another one that was Pierce, but that's an inmate.
That's an inmate.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
May I be excused, Judge? Thank you. Have a
Thank
good day. I'll
Mr.
see you
Cobb.
Wednesday.
Mr. Cobb? All right. Do we have any unrepresented people? All right, Ms. Jaquit, Mr. Kleins, I think you're up. Welcome to Crestview, Mr. Kleins.
Thanks, I've never been here before.
Appreciate it.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm going to be running things off of this docket, so if I miss anything, Madam Clerk, just please jump down my throat. First I have is
We're
Laura.
nicer than that. Well, I'm nicer.
I'll take whatever you can throw. First I have is Laura Brown, followed by Michelle Gallardo. Your Honor, this is Miss Brown, present and approaching. If we can leave Miss Brown on for plea or continue for next Monday, Your Honor, I need to talk to her in the hall.
All right, so we'll leave it on for Monday, that's May 5th at 9 o'clock, ma'am.
All right.
We'll see you back on that date.
Don't
Make
leave
sure
until
you
I can talk to you.
set a time to speak with Mr. Kleins now that he's on your case. All right.
Next I have is Miss Gallardo, followed by Cody Lavin. This is Miss Gallardo, Your Honor. In full candor to the court, I don't really know what's happened on these cases and hasn't. I don't know if depositions have been taken or not. With Miss Gallardo, I did get a chance to talk to her in the hall this morning. I would ask the court to continue this to the June date so I can find out if depots have been taken. If they haven't, they will be set and taken before her next court date.
All right, just to make it clear, this is your first day taking over this docket.
I've been on the job for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Okay. You've been doing the job a lot longer than that,
I
but not
have a
this
little
particular
experience,
division.
but-
Yeah, so I appreciate it. So we're going to put you on to the June 23rd date at 9 o'clock. We'll see you back on that day, Mr. Guerrero. Stay in touch with Mr. Kleins. He's your attorney now.
Yes. All right. Give me a call, make an appointment. Yes, ma'am. Next, I have Cody Lavin, followed by Wesley Moore. Your Honor, this is Mr. Lavin. My understanding is this morning, his two co-defendants have provided the restitution to resolve their cases. For that reason, I need to look into whether Mr. Lavin's resolution is going to be similar to theirs. So I would ask the court to leave him on for next Monday for plea or continue.
Okay, any issues with that from the state? Who has Lavin? Leave it on for Monday,
That's what I'm asking the court for, Your Honor.
May 5th, 9 o'clock for Mr. Lavin. We'll see you back on that date, sir.
Call you this week, next Monday, okay? 9 o'clock.
And I think you had Llewellyn, but that one's already been continued.
That's my understanding, is that was already continued, Your Honor.
I just like to say it because it's on there still, just to make sure everyone has.
Oh, it was on my docket too, and so.
Okay, we'll see. You'll catch up. June 23rd. I think that I signed an order on
I believe
Thursday or
so. I know
Friday.
one was submitted, so.
I did sign.
Next, I have Wesley Moore, followed by Cecilia Mortimer. Mr. Moore is present and approaching, Your Honor. I can tell the court that Mr. Moore is going to resolve this next Monday. The position really is that he's been made two competing offers. One involves a withhold, one involves an adjudication. He's never been adjudicated. He's interested in that offer, but I'd hate to rush somebody into an adjudication without knowing anything about the case. So I would ask the court to leave him on for plea or continue for next Monday, but I do expect a plea next Monday for sure.
All right, Mr. Moore, we'll have you come back next Monday, that's May 5th, at 9 o'clock to resolve your case.
All right. Next, I have Cecilia Mortimer, followed by Justin Nolan. Ms. Mortimer is present and approaching, Your Honor. We do have depositions scheduled for this Friday. I would ask the court leave her on for plea or continue for next Monday so we can see what happens with the depositions if there's any resolution next Monday.
All right, so there's some depots on the 2nd, and you'll come back on May 5th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Expect to resolve it that day, otherwise we can talk about what we want to do with it.
Yes, sir.
Brand new case, it looks like.
Yes, sir. Okay. I'll see you next Monday.
I've heard of people having depositions the same week as their first pretrial, so something.
We'll see. I mean, it's a grand theft auto case, so it's definitely something that we could get ready for trial quickly.
Okay.
Next, I have Justin Nolan. Oh, wow, you guys are approaching on, not used to you guys approaching on my left. Yeah. Your Honor, we do have a signed plea agreement to resolve Mr. Nolan's case. At this time, Mr. Nolan is going to be entering a no contest plea as charged. The agreed upon disposition is that Mr. Nolan will be assessed $515 in court costs, $150 in public defender fees. He would have no trespassing at the Walmart in Crestview. He would be adjudicated. He has previously been adjudicated. If I may approach.
Thanks, sir. All right. Mr. Nolan, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you state your name and date of birth, please?
Justin Nolan, 6/12/85.
Okay, and Mr. Nolan, you're here in 24 CF 2044, charged with felony petty theft, which is a third-degree felony punished up to 5 years in state prison and a $5,000 fine. Do you understand that? All right, I've been given a plea and sentencing agreement that has you pleading to that felony petty theft, being adjudicated guilty, so that makes you a convicted felon. I believe your attorney just mentioned you have been previously. $515 in court costs, $150 cost of defense, no trespassing, and return to the Walmart in Crestview. And I can give you 30 days to set up a payment plan for paying off your court costs, okay?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, it'll go to judgment.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do today?
Yes, sir.
Did you go over this form with Mr. Kleins?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with your lawyer's advice and representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances?
No, sir.
Are you currently suffering from any mental health issues or concerns?
No, sir.
I've got to ask everyone the same
Yes, sir.
questions. Had anyone force, pressure, or threaten you in any way to get you to take this plea?
No, sir.
Anyone promise you anything to get you to take this plea?
No, sir.
If you enter a no contest plea, do you understand there won't be a trial of any kind and you're giving up your trial rights, which are on page 2 of the agreement that you signed?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're waiving all potential defenses that you may have?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported based on this plea? Okay, and what is your plea to the felony petty theft?
Contest.
I'll accept your no contest plea to the felony petty theft, adjudicate you guilty, time served, $515 in court costs, $150 cost of defense, 30 days to go set up a payment plan. You can do that on the first floor here at the clerk's office, and no going back or trespassing at the Walmart in Crestview. Do you understand?
At
that?
all. Yes, sir.
Okay, and that was the state's agreement, correct?
It was, Your Honor.
Okay, and it's a guideline sentence. He did not score. All right, thank you, Mr. Nolan. You need to be fingerprinted. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court.
And next, I have Justin Nolan. I'm sorry.
That was Mr. Nolan.
That was Mr. Ponder.
You got another case?
Mr. Ponder. Yeah. Your Honor, this is Mr. Ponder. He is present and approaching the podium. He has worked out a resolution to this with the state attorney's office. At this time, Mr. Ponder would be entering a no contest plea to the lesser included offense of petty theft. Madam Clerk, that statute is 812.014, subsection 2E. It's also written on the plea agreement. The agreed-upon disposition for Mr. Ponder is that Mr. Ponder would be assessed $270 in court costs, $100 cost of defense. There would be a withhold of adjudication. If I could have just 1 second, Mr. Ponder. The only request from Mr. Ponder, Your Honor, would be that the court give him 60 days to pay the court costs.
Sure, come on. The good thing, Mr. Ponder, is you can set up a payment plan through them as well. Just make sure you do that within the 60 days.
Sir.
All right. Otherwise, if you're not paying it, it'll go to collections. All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, can you state your name and date of birth, please?
John Ponder, 11/27/03.
Okay, and Mr. Ponder, you're here in 24 CF 2777, where, what was this initially? You were initially charged with the possession or passing of forged bills or notes?
Possession.
Possession. All right, but the plea calls for a lesser included offense of petty theft. You can put your hand down, Mr. Ponder.
Sorry.
All right, did you go over this form, this agreement with your lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do today?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice and representation?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances?
No, sir.
Are you currently suffering from any mental health issues or concerns?
No, sir.
Has anyone forced, pressure, or threatened you in any way to enter this plea?
Sir.
Has anyone promised you anything in return for the plea?
No, sir.
Do you understand that by entering a no contest plea, you're giving up your right to a trial and all the trial rights which are listed on page 2 of the agreement that you signed?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're waiving all potential defenses that you may have?
Sir.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you could be deported because of this?
Sir.
And what is your plea to the lesser included offense of petty theft, first-degree misdemeanor? What is your plea?
No contest.
No contest. I'll accept your no contest plea to the petty theft, first-degree misdemeanor as freely, voluntarily, knowingly given. It's going to be a withhold of adjudication, $270 in court costs, $100 cost of defense. I'm going to give you 60 days to set up a payment plan to get that done. Make sure you do that with the clerk's office, otherwise there will be a judgment against you. I think I did say withhold, right? Okay. And I believe because it's a petty theft, I still need his fingerprints.
And I even told him out in the hallway, I said, I think you're going to be printed.
Just because petty theft, even a withhold, can be enhanced if you get more of them.
Okay.
So step up, be fingerprinted, and then I'll go ahead and tell you you've got 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court. It's a misdemeanor, so I don't need a guideline sheet.
Your Honor, I don't know the state's position. Mr. Ponder was just informing me that at the time of his arrest, they seized his cell phone. I believe that it would lose evidentiary value now that there's a plea. Does the state have any objection to the return of the property?
No objection to returning the phone.
All right, give me an order.
Okay, I was going to say, I think Florida Highway Patrol took it, so I'll get you an order.
Probably would need a real order.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to seize it, but. Next, I have Maya Turner, followed by Ashley Woody. Your Honor, if I could approach with Ms. Turner, this was a plea to a misdemeanor.
May I approach? Yes, sir.
Can I approach with Mr. Lavin's plea to a misdemeanor also, since we're...
Mr. Lavin? Okay. So Ms. Turner's not here, right?
She was here this morning.
Did you talk to her, Ms. Jaquith?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay, and she wanted to do this?
Yes, absolutely.
It's just- I'm always aware of these like computer signatures and aren't actually signatures.
I made sure I actually spoke with her as I was emailing it, and she confirmed that she was the person receiving it. So, but yes, I did speak with her both at her misdemeanor court hearing and also today, this morning.
Okay, so this is going to be, you ready? 2024 CF 2774. It's a lesser included of no valid driver's license, second-degree misdemeanor. Calls for adjudication of guilt, time served, $300 in court costs, $100 cost of defense. Why is it 300 and not 270? Is there an extra?
300 for the traffic.
Is it traffic is just
Yes.
300? Okay. We don't deal with a lot of misdemeanor traffic over here, so.
Yes.
I always ask the question
I'm
to
actually
make sure
very
I'm
proud of myself for catching that one, because normally I'm just redoing plea agreements and changing names.
All right, and then I'll give her 60 days to make the payment.
I think I told her 90 if the court would give her 90.
90, but she can set up a payment plan as well.
Yes.
Court accepts the plea and sentencing agreement on that.
And I told Mr. Lavin the same on the 90 days.
And he was here earlier.
He was, I was
Instead of-
just,
Okay. So let's go over that really quickly too, if you are ready. Cody Allen Lavin, 24 CF 2011. This is a lesser included criminal mischief, first-degree misdemeanor, calls for an adjudication of guilt, time served, 270 court costs, $100 cost of prosecution, 90 days to make that payment or set up the payment plan. It was signed by him earlier, so we can cancel his May 5th court date.
thank you, Your Honor.
Be accepted by the court. Give me 1 second, Mr. Klein. so
Yes, sir.
I can Cross that one off and be done with it. All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, this is Ashley Woody, 24 CF 2724. I'm going to ask the court for a one-cycle continuance. In reading the police report, I don't know if depositions have been taken, but it definitely would be a situation where they should be taken, so that's why I'm asking. If they've been already taken, then I would expect this to be set for trial.
They have not, Mr. Kleins.
Okay.
All right, let's do 6:23 at 9 o'clock. Let's get those depositions hopefully set before then.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk to you about that date. Ms. Woody, make sure you're back on June 23rd at 9 o'clock, and we'll see you back then.
Yes, sir.
Stay in touch with Mr. Kleins.
Yes. Like I said, I can do phone appointments. No big deal, okay? All right. Next, I have Gabrielle Augustine. Mr. Augustine is present and approaching. Your Honor, if I could just have 1 second with him at the podium. Your Honor, if we could leave Mr. Augustine's case on for next Monday, plea or trial. And so the state's aware, Your Honor. I'm aware of the offer that's been made. If it's accepted, I'll let you know early this week or as soon as I know. So,
May 5th for plea or trial. We'll see you back on Monday at 9 o'clock.
I'll call you tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. Last I have on the morning docket, Your Honor, is Vincent Robledo. He is present and approaching, Your Honor. Saying your last name, right?
Robledo.
Robledo, okay. He has reached an agreement to resolve this with the state, Your Honor. At this time, Mr. Robledo is going to enter a plea to the lesser included offense of misdemeanor petty theft, statute 812.014 2E. The agreed upon disposition is that Mr. Robledo would be assessed $270 in court costs, a $50 cost of defense. It looks like the application fee's already been paid. Financials would be due within 90 days. He will be adjudicated of the misdemeanors. My understanding is that this is a plea agreement that's been resolved as a result of the prepayment of restitution.
Okay.
Approach.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Mr. Robledo, can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, can you state your full name and date of birth, please?
Vincent Robledo, June 25th, 1982.
Okay, and sir, you're here in 25 CF 38, currently charged with felony larceny. I guess it's got one of those 18 different things it possibly could be. I think I remember it from before. It's about a contract. Well, anyway, it's a lesser included petty theft, which is a first degree misdemeanor, so it's only punished by 1 year in jail. Is that your understanding? Did you go over this agreement with your lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. And did you sign it?
I did.
Okay. All right. Is this what you want to do today? It's adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, $50 cost of defense because the application was already paid, and that those costs would be due within 90 days.
Yes, sir.
That's what you want to do. Okay. All right. Did you understand the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
And you signed it. I've already asked you that. Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice and representation?
Absolutely.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances?
No, sir.
Are you suffering from any mental health?
No, sir.
All right. Have you have been forced, pressured, or threatened in any way to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Anyone promise you anything in return for your plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, there won't be a trial, and you give up your trial rights, which are listed on page 2 of the agreement you signed?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand you're waiving all potential defenses?
Yes, sir.
All right. And do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this could lead to your deportation?
Yes, sir.
And what is your plea to the lesser included petty theft?
No contest.
I'll accept your no contest plea as freely, voluntarily, knowingly given. Adjudicate you guilty, $270 in court costs, $50 cost of defense. Those will be paid within 90 days to the clerk's office here. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence. I do need fingerprints because it's a petty theft charge.
Yes, sir.
I think the last I have today on the docket is, she's not on until 1 o'clock, is Ashley Cook. Just pass her to the afternoon docket. I guess she's already on it.
So y'all have depots this Friday already?
Yes, they are. And my intent would be leaving on plea or continue.
Okay.
So,
Well, let's just see if she, well, you don't have anything this afternoon?
other than her, I mean, I'm going to be here at 1 o'clock.
Okay. All right, just make sure you kind of give me a high sign so I call you and not make you sit through the entire docket just to call you last.
It's one of the reasons why I'm in my new position, so I won't forget.
All right.
That's all I have this morning, Your Honor.
Okay, and then Mr. Maddox, do you have cases that are on this docket?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have 5.
We'll go ahead and call them and then,
There are a couple that I've spoken to off the bat, Your Honor, if I may call them first. Stephen Moore. Come on up, Mr. Moore. Your Honor, present and approaching is Mr. Stephen Moore. He's before the court in 24 CF 2937. Your Honor, it's the first time up. If I could just have a continuance in this case.
any objection from the state?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, so, Mr. Moore, we're gonna put you on June 23rd, but it's gonna be 1 o'clock. It'll be on the afternoon. That's the normal docket for the Public Defender Division. So we'll see you back on that date, June 23rd, 1 o'clock.
Sure, thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Mr. Moore. Stay in touch, okay? Yep. All right, next up I have Miss Ashley Knowling. Ms. Knowling? Your Honor, Ms. Knowling is present and approaching. This is 23 CF 1262. It's back on a PTI recall, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is a case's first time up. I do understand that it's been taken with a plea, so it could go to sentencing. However, I would ask the court for a continuance. Her violation is for failed drug tests, Your Honor, for UAs, and she could still complete a substance abuse evaluation and treatment, which she's recommending. Does the state have any objection to seeing if she's able to do that?
No objections.
It was a plea to the,
Yes, Your Honor. The PTI was entered with a plea.
what date are you asking for?
If I could, Your Honor, I would just ask for a one-cycle continuance to the next pretrial conference. I'll certainly be aware of where the state stands and where we stand with regards to sentencing, and if we are not able to resolve it by then if the court would like, and we can certainly set for sentencing then.
I'll give you some time, but Ms. Nolan, you've got to show me something here. I mean, it's not just the positive test. I looked at the numbers that came back from the lab. They're huge numbers. So that would indicate pretty serious use. So if you're going to do the rehab, it might help out.
Yes, Your Honor, it is Ms. Knowling's intention to go ahead and get into that substance abuse evaluation treatment. She believes hopefully her insurance will cover it, so that'll be good for her.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you back June 23rd, 1 o'clock.
Your Honor, next up I have Mr. Cameron Thomas. Mr. Thomas? He's present and approaching, Your Honor. This is 23 CF 1517. He's before the court on a DPA recall, Your Honor. It was a deferred prosecution agreement, interestingly enough. I don't believe the state has an objection to either extending this agreement, Your Honor, to give him more time to pay the restitution or doing a new PTI. I'll defer to the state on that. If we could set this for the 5th for a plea or a continuance at that time, we may be able to have the particulars of that worked out, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I have a moment to go speak with the victim, please, to
Okay.
ask?
Why don't we see if we can call some other cases while she's doing that?
Sure, Your Honor. It's just a restitution issue in that case.
Sure, I understand.
James Chad here. Tyson Odom. And May very well believe they're on 1 o'clock. If we could pass those to the 1 o'clock docket, Your Honor, they're not here this morning. I know they're on the 9 a.m. docket, but give them a chance to appear at the 1 o'clock.
All right, we'll put them on for 1 o'clock, but
Thank you.
might want to reach out in the meantime and make sure they know to be here at 1 o'clock.
I do have a couple on the 1 o'clock that are here, if Your Honor wouldn't mind considering those while they're here. I have one that's a written plea ready to go, signed. Just need the
Let's see if we
state
can maybe
signature.
resolve the other one, the Thomas case.
Sure.
Yes, Your Honor. We wouldn't have an objection to continuing the case to allow Mr. Thomas to pay the balance. However, it would be, I would ask the court to at least impose a minimum payment so that we don't have to wait forever.
Yeah, it's a DPA, Your Honor. It's a $15,000 restitution is what we're talking about. Now, Mr. Thomas has made substantial progress on that. He's paid about $6K of the 15. It's a 12-month deferred prosecution agreement, Your Honor, was what was contemplated
When was
initially.
that?
Sorry?
That was like January of '24, right?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. It was some time ago.
Already like 16 months in.
Correct.
And he's not halfway through, I guess. But you said it wasn't a plea, right?
No, I don't believe so, Your Honor. Just a,
How can I order him to do something if he hasn't taken a plea? This is y'all's agreement.
no, yeah, what I was contemplating, Your Honor, is just either doing a new deferred prosecution agreement or otherwise extending this agreement to continue to give him time to pay the restitution. I mean,
I don't have an issue with what y'all decide.
Okay.
The issue is when it's an agreement between the state and the defendant, and it's, deferred, it means it's deferred from the court, right? If
Yes.
y'all make a decision,
Yeah,
that's
no,
how
we'll
y'all
get
want
some
to
new
handle
paperwork.
it, but I don't think I can order him to pay that kind of amount unless he's pled to something.
And for that reason, Your Honor, I was going to suggest to set the case for this coming Monday on docket day to enter a plea into a PTI and then so the court can establish a minimum monthly payment.
That'll be fine.
We'll talk
And the
about that.
At that point, if
balance-
there's a plea, I can make sure it happens or not.
And the total balance, Your Honor, for the record, is $9,000.
Okay.
The total was before 19,000. It looks like the defendant has paid 10,000. What's left is 9.
Okay. All right. So do you want to do that on Monday, Mr. Maddox?
Yes, Your Honor, I would.
All right, we'll come back Monday at 9 o'clock and see if we can't get it resolved for docket day.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Talk about that. Don't talk about that.
I know what y'all are asking for. I just can't really, I don't have the authority to do it unless there's been a plea, so.
I entered a plea, I pleaded guilty the first time I was here.
All right, what else do you have, Mr. Maddox?
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
No, you're fine.
Your Honor, I do have Miss Lacey Alford who's here. I've reached a resolution with the state. Your Honor, I provided the executed plea agreement to them. I was just awaiting their signature if the court would consider
That's
that
from
this
the
time.
afternoon docket?
Yes, Your Honor, it is on the afternoon docket, though.
You have that one?
Yeah, just.
1 second. Okay. No score sheet because it's a misdemeanor, Your Honor.
Okay.
Approach?
Yes, You raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, your name and date of birth, please.
Lacey Alford, 31383.
All right, Ms. Alfred, you're here in 24 CF 1812, charged with battery of someone over the age of 65, which is a 5-year maximum felony, third-degree felony, and assault, which is a second-degree misdemeanor, punishment up to 60 days in county jail. Do you understand what you're currently charged with? Okay. And I've been given a plea and sentencing agreement that calls for the state to dismiss count 1, the felony, and have you plead to count 2, which would be an adjudication of guilt, $270 in court costs, no violent contact with the victim in the case, batter's intervention program, or proof of therapy as an alternative, 6 months probation to do those things, and also a $100 cost of defense. Is that what you want to do? Okay. And so is this probation still with the Department of Corrections? It's a misdemeanor only. I just want to make sure. That's how we usually do it up here.
Fine by me.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Alford, did you go over this plea and sentencing agreement with your lawyer? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
And are you satisfied with your attorney's advice and representation?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or controlled substances?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently suffering from any mental health issues or
Yes, sir.
concerns? Has anyone forced, pressured, or threatened you in any way to enter this plea?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything in return for the
Yes,
plea?
sir.
By pleading no contest to this charge, you understand there won't be a trial of any kind, and you're giving up your trial rights, which are listed on page 2 of the agreement you signed. And do you understand that you're waiving all potential defenses that you may have?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this could lead to your deportation?
Yes, sir.
And what is your plea to the second-degree misdemeanor assault charge?
No contest.
I'll accept your no contest plea, adjudicate you guilty of the assault, 6 months probation, $270 in court costs, $100 cost of defense, no contact with the victim, and batter's intervention or proof of therapy as an alternative. Probation will, can talk to you about their discretion to agree to a program. If there's a disagreement, you can certainly bring it back to the court for me to make a determination of whether or not that therapy is sufficient. Sure.
Batter's intervention is 26 weeks. Started today, she would not finish in 6 months. Unless my math is incorrect.
No, that's right, Your Honor. She was going to do the therapy. That's what she contemplates doing.
But the court.
No, I appreciate that. It's a
Thank you.
good point, and it's a second-degree misdemeanor, so I can't give her any more than 6 months probation.
Oh,
it's
the
622
misdemeanor assault, 622?
Yeah, because it still has the.
Falls under that category,
201,
okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. My apologies, Judge. So it's $622 in court costs. My apologies.
A long time ago.
Could she have 180 days to pay that?
Well, she's on 6 months probation.
Okay, that's right, yeah.
All right. Anything that I've missed?
No,
Okay,
Your Honor.
this is a guideline sentence, it's a misdemeanor. I don't need a score sheet. I'll accept the plea. Assaults can be enhanced, right? Misdemeanor assault?
It's, yeah. 7?
You have 30 days to appeal?
Oh, for assault?
No, I'm talking about whether or not it's enhanceable. Is there, there's no such thing as
Oh, I see.
felony
No,
assault
you're
by
right.
prior conviction, right?
Oh, no.
Okay. Waive cost of supervision, yes.
How much was the final total on that?
Final total again was?
It'll be 622.
622.
Plus the PDP.
722.
No violent contact with the victim.
I think it said no contact.
No contact?
It says no contact.
Mm-hmm.
Does the state have any objection to no violent contact?
No violent contact is fine.
Okay.
No violent
I think
contact.
it said
Thank you
no
for
contact,
bringing that
right?
to attention.
All right, I'll change it to no violent contact.
There you go, yeah.
No violent.
So, just don't get another scrap with her or anything.
It does? Okay, so I got it wrong. See? I got it wrong. No violent contact.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And no, you're good. Thank you, ma'am. And Your Honor, I do have, does she need to check in with y'all? Okay. Your Honor, I do have one other that was on the afternoon docket, Michael Ray Walker, if the court would address that as well.
Is he here?
Yes, he is, Your Honor. Mr. Walker. Your Honor, he's before the court in 24 CF 2819. He is present and approaching. Your Honor, I am asking for a continuance in this case. We had a meeting set for April 11th. He has to reschedule that, so I'd like to talk to him in depth about my perception of the case. It's also possible that we would need to take depositions in this case, Your Honor.
All right, so you want June 23rd?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, objections?
No objections, Your
All right, June 23rd at 1 o'clock. Mr. Walker, make sure you meet up with Mr. Maddox so y'all can talk about the case. It's already about 4 months old. I kind of feel like y'all are just getting started due to no one else's problem. It's okay. But we'll see you back on June 23rd.
And Your Honor, if I may, just for the court's knowledge of Mr. Walker's situation, he did have a death in his family. It's recently been opened as a murder situation, so there is a lot going on with that. All right, man. Yeah, please.
All right, anyone else?
No, Your Honor, nothing further. Thank you.
Anybody else? Pam? What are you here for?
She's a victim in a case. We'll speak with her.
Okay, but it's already been called? Okay, I just want to make sure she wasn't waiting for something, so she didn't sit around and wait until 1 o'clock. All right, if we don't have anything else, we'll be adjourned until 1 o'clock.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Klein?